Spirit Hockey.
Harmer holds it out wide. Centers. Kluchek scores!
Lives
Looking for the stretch pass to Jilkin. It'll pop off the wall and lay down for him. Jilkin scores!
here.
Picked up by Harmer. In with speed. Carson Harmer shoots. He scores! Carson Harmer!
The radio home of your Saginaw Spirit is WSGW 100.5 FM. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. Now it's game time. Live from the rink to your radio. Here is the first period play-by-play with the voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark.
Canada Life Place here in London, Ontario. A newly minted 2025 Memorial Cup Championship banner was hung in the rafters here just a couple of months ago. Many in attendance will tell you they feel there should be a twin sister right next to it for 2024. Instead, it hangs at the Dow Event Center in Saginaw, Michigan. And so another chapter gets to be written between the last two Memorial Cup champions in the Canadian Hockey League. Our starting goaltenders for tonight's matchup, the only all-Russian goaltending matchup in the OHL this season. The goaltenders brought to you by NetSource One, the official technology provider of the Saginaw Spirit. Alexei Medvedev, second-round pick of the Vancouver Canucks in 2025. This will be his 15th game of the season. He's got 9 wins, 2.29 goals against average, .919 save percentage. Stopped 21 of 24 in the London Knights' last win up in Sault Ste. Marie on November the 22nd. Stepan Shurigan back the other way. 23rd appearance here this season, leading the OHL in minutes and saves. His 7th consecutive start, he made 38 saves against the Flint Firebirds on Wednesday. Your officials tonight, brought to you by WNEM TV5, Aaron Neely and Chad Ingles, the referee, Dustin McCrank, and Michael Whaley will work the lines. Sebastian Gervais against Ben Wilmot, our opening faceoff, brought to you by Delta College, as the London Knights into the offensive zone, and this game underway. And a shot goes up off the netting, out of play, and deflects off the back of Stepan Shurigan and into the net, of course, after the whistle had gone. Getting some half-hearted cheers from those in attendance and a little bit of a celebration from Jackson Culver. B-ranked prospect according to NHL Central Scouting. He starts with Ben Wilmot and Logan Hari here. Saginaw now a defensive zone face-off with just 7 seconds off the clock. Puck goes back in behind the Saginaw net off the draw. Logan Hari on it here for the London Knights. Stops up at the hash mark, moves it to Wilmot. Back at the right point, this is Brown. To move it back in behind the net of Stepan Shurigan. Nick Sema, Saginaw's overage alternate captain. Sees this puck played away from him and back behind his own net. Hayden Barch on things here for the Spirit. Puck moved to the middle of the ice. Big-time collision as Uri Rouser shrugs that off. This is Nick Sema into the offensive zone, and a shot by Josh Glavin goes high over the glove of Alexei Medvedev and into the glass. Counterattack led by London's Jackson Culver. Turned it back up and onto the stick of Saginaw's Levi Harper. 50-50 puck in the neutral zone now in front of the London bench, and corralled and flipped back in by Logan Hari, easily handled by Stepan Shurigan. Some line changes coming up here for both teams. Bouncing puck into the offensive end. Josh Glavin was trying to spring Nikita Klepov. That'll be shut down and back out at center. This is Harper for Klepov and then pushed around. This is O'Reilly, the London captain, on the intercept. One of just 8 players in the lineup here between the two hockey teams who are a part of that 2024 Memorial Cup final. Igor Barabanov off the boards for Dimas Yilkin. Minutes and change gone here in the first period. Jared Woolley on things here for the Knights. Henry Brustevich back out at center ice. Levi Harper tried to lay that into an area for Dimas Yilkin. He's going to take Van Gorp into the London bench. And off the collision, it'll be picked up again by London's Sam O'Reilly. Thrown back in behind the Spirit net. Van Gorp locks up with Levi Harper. Klepov moves it up the far wall for Dimas Yilkin. Then ahead for Igor Barabanov. Drop pass at the line. James Go is offside here in his 250th game in the Ontario Hockey League. 18-18 left in this first period. It was January of 2023 when Saginaw picked up the defenseman James Go from the Peterborough Petes. Of course, he's played most of his OHL tenure with Saginaw now. And it was the following spring when the Spirit got Josh Bloom back from the Vancouver Canucks system that James Go had to give up his number 17 for the 73 he currently wears. Knights fire the puck into the offensive zone, and a little bit of a collision sees the Saginaw net off its moorings. 18:05 left in the second period. A collision between the defenseman Blake Barnes and the goalpost. Saginaw without Ryan Hanrahan tonight for the 12th consecutive game. Out with, well, he was out at the U17 World Challenge, but now a wrist injury. Jensen Geldard is a healthy scratch for the first time since being called up from the Chatham Maroons. And, of course, Drew Roscoe has yet to make his OHL debut. Trevor Thoyer was a game-time decision. He took warm-ups as the 19th skater. We'll try to see if he's in or out tonight as Saginaw pushes things back in behind the net. Xander Valeris would be the other player to be the option to be the scratch. So we'll keep an eye on that. A little tough to see up here from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. A Graydon Jones shot from long range hits a body. As Saginaw's into the offensive zone, he snaps a shot wide. Rene Van Bommel picks it up off the boards for London and snaps it back out to the Knights logo at center. Graydon Jones lays things back in behind the net of Alexei Medvedev. And Donnie Themis, the defenseman, moving things now for Maxim Sokolovsky. Off the near side. Wristed back in by Braden Clark. Off the goal, or off the glass rather, up and out of play into the netting. 17-24 here in the first period. Little stop and start, a little bit cautious here to start this hockey game. First of 3 meetings between these two teams. First of a home and home. These two teams will do battle tomorrow night, 7:05 at the Dow Event Center. And we anticipate things will ramp up a little bit more between now and then. As Mike Zakharov gets waved down to this neutral zone faceoff. Nick Sema to take the draw against him. And Zakharov wins it back. This is the defenseman Julian Brown to fire it back around the net of Stepan Shurigan. No score here. A couple of minutes gone in the first period. Here from Canada Life Place. Saginaw. A little misfire on the D-zone pass. Knights will kick that back in from the Saginaw blue line. Uri Rauja, a pass that's too hot for Sebastian Gervais to handle. So this will be Brown back behind the London net. Move there for Linus Funk. A hit from Nick Sema. The puck loose in the corner. Saginaw rims it back behind the net of Medvedev. Uri Rauja up the boards. Hayden Barnes walks the line. A shot save made by Medvedev with the shoulder. First stop of the hockey game, and is now that'll send London on the counterattack. Nick Sema tries to put his man Max Crete into the boards. Sebastian Gervais on this puck from center. Gervais out the near side, looking for Uri Rauja. Pass misfired. Puck still in the London zone. Sam O'Reilly moves it up now to Max Crete, the former Niagara Ice Dog. Moving wide on Levi Harper. Puck back in the near side corner of the Saginaw zone. O'Reilly and James go. Battle for it. Levi Harper on it there for the Spirit. Rimmed it up the wall. Knights will take over. Shot never got to the net. Harper off the boards again. Settled down by Jared Woolley at center. LA Kings 6th rounder. Moves it to Henry Brustevich. A long shot back in. LA Kings 1st rounder in 2025. The LA defensive pairing throws the puck in on Stepan Shurigan, who will cover and hold for a face-off here. 16:09 left in this first period. Still no score, and Saginaw just recently getting through to the goaltender Alexei Medvedev with their first shot in this hockey game. A Hayden Barnes point try. O'Reilly to take this face-off in the offensive zone for the London Knights. One of their standout players at both of their last 2 Memorial Cup appearances. And we see Brady Wasselin on the ice now. Picked up another former Ice Dog here in London. He's enjoying quite the start to his Knights tenure. Josh Glavin's on this puck out of the D zone for the Spirit. Barabanov give and go with Nikita Klepov. Wristed back in behind the net. Medvedev out to play it. Can't slow it down. Dimas Yilkin, OHL's Academic Player of the Month for November, spikes this back in behind the net. 98% average in this past month of schoolwork. Not bad on the ice either, in case you haven't heard. This puck flipped back out at center. A couple of minutes gone in the first period. 15.5 to go in it. Still no score. 2-1 for the London Knights. They've got the lead there, and this puck drifting back into the London zone. Will go down for an icing. 15:31 to go here in this opening frame. Knights a 4-3 win at Sault Ste. Marie back on November the 22nd. That was their most recent game. They lost the first 2 games of that road trip. Took them through Sudbury and North Bay. So they picked up the point on the last game of the road swing. 6-4 in their last 10 games, and that's their record in the entire month of November as well. Saginaw a little bit of a struggle here in November. 3-6-1-1. D-zone face-off, they've got it. Barabanov up to the neutral zone, taken away by Logan Hari. Xander Valeris moves it to Blake Barnes. Up to Nikita Klepov, into the offensive zone. Cutting towards the middle of the ice. The shot goes off the leg of Vandani Femus. Doesn't pop back out in front. Femus is on it down below the goal line. Picked up back behind the London net by Maxim Sokolovsky. Now a turnover in front. Klepov trying to turn it there. Rebound chance. This is picked up here. And a turning shot by Gervais goes off the glove of the goaltender Medvedev. Knights get this puck back out at center. Spirit try to complete a line change here. Down the left side. This will be brought ahead by Jackson Culver. Dropped off to Logan Hari in the left wing corner. Back up to the point. Long shot deflected by Liam Storch, who gets back into the lineup for the first time in a couple of weeks here. And now back in behind the Saginaw goal, Xander Valeris. Fan on the outlet pass. So he's got some time, but that's quickly running out as Blake Barnes has a little trouble with the D-to-D swing. Saginaw rips this puck back into the London zone. 14.5 to go. No score here in the first period. Gervais for Miroslav Shatan. Back in behind the London net. Looking for the wraparound chance. Puck comes back in front as it's knocked off his stick. Knights counterattack. This is Braden Clark down the left side. Cutting up away from James Go. Put it back into the corner now for Cook. Rene Van Bommel back behind the Spirit net. Centering feed. Linus Funk. Right wing circle. Down to the goal line. Sharp angle try and a save made by Shurigan. Braden Clark again. Out to the blue line. Julian Brown throws it over. One-time shot absorbed by Stepan Shurigan on that try from Linus Funk. James Go on the loose puck behind the Spirit net. Needs some help and an option. He spins away from Braden Clark. Gets it back up to Levi Harper at center. 13:48 to go. No score here in the first. Over the line is Carson Harmer. Has some room. Takes a shot, and that goes off the hand of Alexei Medvedev, the stick above his blocker. Carson Harmer on this puck again. Drops it off for Jacob Kluchek. Stops back in behind the London net. Backhanded pass up high. Brody Papoy, the shot. Good save by Medvedev as Harmer was battling in front. Puck comes back out now. Kluchek in the left wing circle, the Knights end. Tries to spin into the slot. The Knights will take care of that loose puck and send it all the way back out into the Spirit end. Couple of good looks for Saginaw's second line here. No icing. As Levi Harper moves it to Josh Glavin. Fumbled the puck though. Chance for Hawkins. Put it back in front. That one swinging a miss by Zakharov. But back down low, Carson Harmer in the Spirit end. Takes a hit as he moves the puck. Picked back up by Hawkins down the right side. Into the circle. Hawkins, this shot off the goalpost and out of play. Caden Hawkins, free agent signing of the Knights here this season. couple of inches away from putting London up 1-0. 12:58 to go here in this first period. No score after that shot off the iron. We're back to London after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about, questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Ryan Coe to create your personal price plan today.
Hi, this is Nick Sema, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
12:58 left in the first period here from London. No score between the Knights and the Spirit. 4 shots each and a goal post from Caden Hawkins. We mentioned 8 players left on these two rosters from the 2024 Memorial Cup. Sam O'Reilly, Henry Brustevich, Evan Van Gorp, and Jared Woolley for the London Knights. Will Nickel is not in the lineup here tonight, but he was a part of those games in Saginaw last spring, or 2 springs ago. And the overagers, Gervais, Go, and Sema, the only ones left for the Spirit. Here's a shot off the face-off, turned aside by Stepan Shurigan. Jared Woolley let it go. This puck back around. Comes up to Woolley at the right point. Knocks it in past Jilkin. Barch is going to close off Van Gorp below the Spirit goal line. O'Reilly gets it free for Henry Brustevich. Back up high. This is Brady Wasselin. Moving towards the middle. Throws it in on the backhand. Off the boards behind Shurigan. O'Reilly there again. They get the rotation going. Woolley the one-time shot. That one stopped by Shurigan. Now to the corner. Wasselin. Down low for Van Gorp in the trapezoid. Drops it off in the backhand. Picked up out of the corner by Wasselin, rather. And dropped again for Woolley. Rides up the wall. Cross-ice pass. Brustevich point shot deflected on its way. And under the glove of Stepan Shurigan to hang on for a face-off here with 12:16 to go in the first period. A little bit of a dust-up after. Josh Glavin with Sam O'Reilly. Hayden Barch with Van Gorp. Josh Glavin did not get any action in the Memorial Cup. He did get into a handful of playoff games that year and was obviously with the team. Braden Jones in a similar situation. The players who travel with the team for a playoff run but don't get into action, they're typically called the Black Aces. Josh Glavin, Carson Harmer, Jacob Kluche, Caleb Papino, they were members of Saginaw's Black Aces during the 2024 playoffs of the Memorial Cup, but they had a bit of a different name. They were affectionately known as the Hogs, and they would have the Hogs skate before practice that day, just sharpening whatever skills they could. Whenever Braden Hache was suspended, he became a Hog for a couple of days. Same deal with Zane Perek when he was coming back from injury. And that was just one of the fun little wrinkles of that postseason run. This puck cleared back out of the D-zone faceoff for Saginaw into the Knights' end. Poked ahead now by Max Crete. Tries to get around Jones. One hands it in front. A collision in front of the net. Stepan Shurigan may have had to make a save, as with a lot of speed going into the goaltender. Tied up with Nick Sema was London's Mike Zakharov. He's listed as Mikhail, but we found out goes by Mike. He's been in the United States long enough. From Tom Skrusha, 6'6", 164 pounds, a 5th-round pick to the London Knights in 2025, and that's in the OHL priority selection. There are a handful of players where the line is a little bit blurred, and whether you qualify for the priority selection or the import draft has to do with where you played your minor hockey. And, of course, we could probably talk about those rules for a great deal longer. 8 minutes gone here in the first period between Saginaw and London, no score. Face off in the defensive zone for the Spirit. Move to the boards. Logan Hari. Jammed up by Saginaw's Sebastian Gervais. A goal and an assist 2 nights ago against the Flint Firebirds. This is pushed back in. Braden Jones now for Blake Barnes. Up to Uri Rauja at center ice and laid back in. Nick Sema to chase after it. Gets into the near side corner and dropped it off for Uri Rauja. Turning shot in front, looking for Sema on the back door. He found his stick perfectly, but it popped off of Sema's stick and up over the netting, out of play. 11:33 to go in this first period. It stays scoreless. And on the Saginaw side of things, as we've seen 7 defensemen, that means Trevor Thoyer is the odd man out here tonight. Told you we'd deliver that news whenever we could. 11:33 to go here in period 1. Sebastian Gervais to take the face-off against Ben Wilmot. Jackson Cover Lines it out. Gervais taps it off his stick now to the right point. James Go near side. Levi Harper throws the pass high. Turned to the net by Gervais. A shot stopped by Medvedev. Rauscher turns another one. And another pad save by Medvedev. And Donnie Themis on this puck back behind the London goal. Uri Rauscher, the lone forechecker for the Spirit. He's got to get back to the bench. And Donnie Themis, the stretch pass, is just angled in by Logan Hari. No icing here as Stepan Shurigan's got his hands up in the air. He didn't think it was an icing. We'll revisit that as here comes Carson Harmer into the offensive end. Looking for Popoy. Broken play, picked up now by Saginaw's Kluche. Top of the zone, snaps a shot that's off the stick of Braden Clark. It bounces into the circle. There's Kluche again, right after it. Jacob Kluche in the left wing corner now. Up high for Levi Harper in the circle. Harper to the top of the zone. High slot shot. That one off a body to the far corner. Carson Harmer up to the right point. Top of the zone. Near side, Kluche. Hangs onto the puck, moves it up high on the backhand. It's picked up by Levi Harper and just slung down low. Can't be picked up by Saginaw's Brody Popoy. Puck backhanded out, but not away by the Knights. This will be taken back by Carson Harmer. Jammed in front of the net, taken away. A little dangerously there by Linus Funk. And out of play it goes, but deflected. So no delay of game penalty coming up against London. 10:18 to go here in this first period. Still no score. Jacob Kluche's had an extra jump in his step here tonight. You talked to Chris Lazar pregame again. It was a delay game penalty that resulted in the game winner on the power play for the Flint Firebirds on Wednesday. So we anticipate a highly motivated Jacob Kluche here in this game. And Xander Valeris was given a bit of attention on that goal as well. Saginaw looking to clean up some of the defensive zone details, tying up sticks and bodies in front. Knights out of the D-zone faceoff. That puck deflected in the neutral zone by Barabanov. O'Reilly gets it through. Barabanov ties up Wasselin, though, so right there, one of those D-zone details, no scoring chance for the Knights. Zhilkin flips this puck into the offensive end for Klepov. Stops up against Jared Woolley. Brustevich is there for London. Puck disrupted by Saginaw's Barabanov. Dimas Zhilkin reaching for it. The Knights get it out to center. This is Klepov again, just turning over the shoulder and moving it in for Zhilkin, who gets into the offensive zone down the left side. Move for Barabanov. Points in 3 straight hockey games for Saginaw's second leading scorer, Igor Barabanov. Graydon Jones loose in the circle. Wasselin is without a stick. Now the pass up high. Kluche, the shot, and a save by Medvedev. Kluche knocks that puck away from O'Reilly. Jones recycles it back down low. Takes a bounce. Brustevich is hit by Zhilkin. Point shot by Jones. Tipped by Zhilkin on the way through. May have been shrugged off by Medvedev. O'Reilly off the glass back behind his own net. 9:20 to go here. No score in the first period. Kluche still in the offensive end. Opens up. Snaps a shot and a glove save by Alexei Medvedev. As battling in front of the London goal, Josh Glavin and Brady Wasselin. Now Kluche wrapping up with O'Reilly. 9:15 left here in period one. Had to do the extra double take as you're not going to typically find Josh Glavin in front of the net in most other situations, but Saginaw gets the rotation going. Kluche up high. He's been maybe Saginaw's most noticeable forward here in this hockey game, Jacob Kluche has. 12 points in 22 games so far this year. Offensive zone face-off. It'll be Shatan out with Storch and Nick Sema. And again, this is Liam Storch back in the lineup after missing 6 games with an illness. Shatan will take the face-off against Mike Zakharov. Left-handed Shatan sees it to the boards. Sokolovsky ties up Nick Sema. Puck rin back around. Max Crete can't get it out past the body of James Go. Down below the goal line. Miroslav Shatan out of the right wing corner up to the point. This is James Go again. Shot into traffic, deflected, and a save made by Medvedev. Storch got lumber on that. Medvedev got a glove. This is Levi Harper. Into the left wing corner. Stops and starts and moves away here from Hawkins. Up high. This is Storch. A point shot tipped again there and just wide. Miroslav Shatan picked it up off the wall. Near side. Levi Harper. Snapped on through. James Go just inside the blue line. Another shot tipped and another save made by Medvedev with the blocker. Shatan got that deflection and this puck moved back out, but not to center. Sema keeps it alive. Into the left wing corner. Liam Storch is there. 2 Knights and 2 Spirit players back down below the goal line. Storch comes away with it. Pass up the boards. Go. Center point. He switches spots with Harper. Saginaw's rookie defenseman steps back to the middle of the ice and drops it off for James Go again. Another shot into traffic. That goes off Storch and wide. Max Crete can't get it out. Kept alive by Harper. Point drive by Sema. Sails wide. James Go. Put down by Hawkins. Miroslav Shatan takes the check by Maxim Sokolovsky. And the Knights do clear this puck out to center. And it's knocked down by Josh Glavin. Saginaw's going to try to catch the Knights in the middle of a change. James Go, good slip. Here's Papoy. Cuts back to the slot. The shot blocked on its way through. Cloutier chases it down in the corner. This is Harmer for Josh Glavin. Takes a point shot. Goes off a nightstick on its way. Swung there by Papoy, but he doesn't make contact. 7:40 to go in the first. Saginaw still in the offensive zone. A jam up along the near sideboards, and the puck comes free here for Braden Clark back behind the Knights' goal. Stops away from Jacob Cloutier and spins that puck along as Brody Papoy closes off a check. Josh Glavin seals off the left point, keeps the puck right on the line. Knights get it back. Up to the left point. Kept alive by Glavin again. Into the corner. Cloutier in front, looking for Harmer. One more pass in front. It doesn't get the Papoy. Hayden Barnes puts it back below the Knights' goal line. They've got to go get a line change. And so this is Braden Clark, with a little bit of a second to catch their breath back behind the Knights' net. Stretch pass for Brody Cook. Up the wall and back in behind the Spirit net. Hayden Barch hit by Van Bommel. Josh Glavin turned around by Cook. Tied up in the skates of the official. Van Bommel gets it up to the right point. This is Linus Funk, a shot. Tipped wide and picked up by Saginaw's Nikita Klepov in behind Shurigan's goal. Knights intercept the outlet pass. Hayden Barch puts it right off the wall. Can't get to Igor Barabanov, so this is Andoni Femis up for the captain, Sam O'Reilly. Van Bommel, one more pass, intercepted by Valeris. Given away again. Van Bommel right down into the trapezoid behind Shurigan's net. This is O'Reilly. Spinning around, handcuffed by Igor Barabanov. Will take it right back. Barabanov, pocket pick. There's a log jam in front of the Spirit net. Barabanov's just going to throw that back out. The Knights keep it in, though. This is Van Gorp. Cross ice. Look out. Woolley, the shot goes high over the crossbar. Woolley locks up with Josh Glavin after the fact. The puck back in the right wing corner again. 6 to go in the first period. Bruce Devitt's a point shot. That one worn by Zilke. He doesn't know where it is. It was in his equipment. He skates it back out the center. Broken stick for Henry Brustevich. Woolley back at the London blue line. Big time collision as Glavin steps up on Van Bommel. Xander Valeris rims this puck around the Spirit end. Brustevich and Zilkin come together. Brady Wasselin now in the right wing corner of the Spirit zone. Off the lockup. This is Van Gorp again. In behind the Saginaw net. Valeris just turns it around. It goes off an errant stick left behind the play. Wasselin back down for Ben Wilmot. Up high and a point shot gets through. Pad saved by Shurigan. That came off the stick of Woolley. Ben Wilmot gets out of a log jam there with Xander Valeris in the offensive corner here for the London Knights. Back up high. Fresh on the bench is Logan Hari. Nice move to get past Saginaw's Josh Glavin. Van Gorp below the goal line. Try to bring it in front. Loose puck right between the dots. It doesn't end up on a stick. Now Brustevich takes a shot. That one into the skates of Glavin as well. And Dimas Zilkin clears on the backhand. 5:10 to go in the first. Saginaw gets a line change. Woolley. And this is Brustevich up. Intercepted, though, by Saginaw's Jones. And he one-handed into the zone. A little bit of confusion at the offensive blue line. Gervais gets it, though, now for Uri Rauja. Down the right wing boards into the corner. Rauja up high for Barnes. One-timer from the point. Sema tipped a couple of times, and it goes wide. Gervais up to the point. This is Blake Barnes. Gervais again. Deflects it into the corner. Woolley pursued by Uri Rauja. Jackson Culver on it now for the London Knights. Sema tries to force a turnover. Puck is picked up and moved north by Ben Wilmot of the London Knights, and now Hawry's back in. But the Knights are offside. 4:33 to go here in this first period. No score. Saginaw, the 10-8 shot advantage. Lots of action here in this first. And we're back in a moment after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Chevrolet in Linwood. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience that will keep you coming back. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see us. Get a better overall experience and lease for less in Linwood. Garber Chevrolet Linwood, M13, north of Bay City. Online, garberlinwood.com. Chevrolet, together. Let's drive.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
4.5 left in the first period here from Canada Life Place. No score between the Saginaw Spirit and the London Knights. A handful of scoring opportunities. Saginaw, a lot of their offense right now running from the blue line. Sending 3 players up high. The forward ends up being the high man in the slot, and they're getting shots through. They're getting deflections. Alexei Medvedev has had to make a couple of really good saves. Probably 8 out of the 10 have been off of deflections. Stepan Shurigan, 8 stops as well back at the other end. This face-off comes just outside the Spirit line in the neutral zone. And off the face-off, Gervais moves it. Rauja off the glass and back for Andoni Femis. It hit him in the back as it came off the glass on the near side. Gervais moves it in there for Nick Sema, but Themis will take it away. And Brown moves it around out of that far corner for the London Knights. Julian Brown, big collision there as he rolls through Nick Sema. And Donnie Themis up the left side. Max Crete can't stick handle around Sebastian Gervais. Now this one picked up back and behind the net by Crete. Up high, left point. Brown, the shot tipped on its way and wide. Up the near boards now. And Donnie Themis, another point shot. Seen all the way by Shurigan, so he blockers it out of danger. Nick Sema tries to chop after the skates of Brown. Gervais now in the far corner here for the Spirit. 3:50 to go in the first period. James Go trying to get that puck away from Zakharov. Nobody can move it back in the left wing corner of the Spirit end. Finally pulled out by Zakharov. Brown at the left point. Takes a shot, tipped on its way. Save made by Shurigan. The puck is loose in front and finally covered by the Spirit goaltender. Caden Hawkins got that secondary opportunity as it bounced its way right on top of the blue crease. But the puck kind of died right there. Nobody was able to get a clean shot off of it. Stepan Shurigan just covering that puck as James Goal has an extra conversation with the official. 3:33 left in this first period. Nobody found the back of the net yet. Offensive zone face-off here for the Knights. There have been some really good opportunities at both ends. Face-off won back by London's Braden Clark. Linus Funk now to the left point. A shot gets through traffic and a save made by Shurigan on that try from Sokolovsky. Puck out of play on the deflection. And so no penalty on the Spirit side of things. As they look to improve on their last 10 hockey games, Saginaw's 3-6-0-1 in their last 10. 8 wins on the season. 8th place in the Western Conference, just hanging on to a playoff spot. But a really encouraging start to this first 20 here from London. Van Bommel to take the face-off against Saginaw's Carson Harmer, who made his OHL debut in the conference final in this building 2 years ago. D-zone face-off taken by the Spirit. Glavin moves it around for Popoy. Knights force a turnover. Back up the right point. Faking the shot there is Cook. Dropped off for Funk. Back for Cook now. On through is deflected. Good active stick in the circle by Carson Harmer. And it comes back into the London end. This is Sokolovsky. On the backhand, moves it off the boards. Out the center for Cook. Taken away by Popoy. Braden Clark is there for the London Knights. Move back to Linus Funk. The outlet pass off the near boards for Cook and backhanded into the Spirit zone. Van Bommel knocked away by Blake Barnes. Given over, Brody Popoy. Into the offensive zone with speed. Dropped it off. Kluche. One more cross-ice pass. Carson Harmer was tied up. This will be Brody Cook. Clearing the zone here for London. Glove down by Brody Popoy. Lost it there. Now Clark trying to get through him. Now here's a chance for Van Bommel. Takes a shot after the whistle. He was offside. That'll draw a crowd of Navy sweaters. Jacob Kluche will get in after it. And the official, Chad Ingles, knew right away what was coming. 2:32 left in this first period. That's been our first mix-up here. It's really not much, especially compared to what we're used to from these two teams. Rene Van Bommel saying, hey, I didn't hear anything. Just right in that gray area of being long enough after the whistle to raise an eyebrow. And the face-off will come outside the zone here. Van Bommel barking at the Spirit bench. This has been anything but a typical Knights Spirit game. Especially one at Canada Life Place. Saginaw wins the neutral zone face-off. Levi Harper back over for Go. Quickly moves it up the boards to center. Nikita Klepov into the offensive zone. A backhanded pass. He drops it off for Barabanov in front. Zhilkin just gets a stick on it. Good save made by Medvedev. And Zhilkin basically had to slow that puck down. Now the Knights cross-ice pass is cut off by Levi Harper on the counterattack. Henry Brustevich at center. Shot back in for Stepan Shurigan to play it. On his backhand for James Go. Poked into the circle and picked up by Dima Zhilkin. Out to center ice. He flips it over everybody's head. Zhilkin gets knocked down by Henry Brustevich and skated over. Puck is picked up by London's Brady Wazelin. Back in behind the London Knights net. Off the far side board. Stretch pass off the wall. Here's O'Reilly in the left wing circle. Tries to turn away from James Go. Back in front. Centering pass. Doesn't find anybody in green. Here comes Barabanov with Klepov, who turns and goes to the bench. Barabanov in solo. And as Linus Funker and Donnie Themis, rather, will close him off. This is Brown leading the counterattack here for the Knights. Down to the goal line. Centering pass. Doesn't find its way in front. Julian Brown back up to the point. A shot deflected. This one goes off a leg. Logan Hari's on it. Up high for Julian Brown. Shot blocked by Barabanov. Given back to him by Hayden Barch. Barabanov near side. Uri Rauja tries to chip it into the offensive end. Gets a shot away. That fooled Medvedev. But goes wide out the other direction. Jackson Culver. Backhanded pass. And Donnie Themis from center. Fired back around again into the Spirit zone. Final 60 seconds here of the first period. Does somebody have a late one in him? Levi Harper. Backhanded pass up the near wall for Rauja. To the middle. Gervais. Pocket picked by Jackson Culver. Spun around by Nick Sema. Gervais on this loose puck, though. Just backhands it into the Knights' end. And Donnie Themis from the goal line. Hit by Nick Sema. Rauja in front. Pass can't be handled on the backhand by Gervais. Harper finds James Go. Back to Levi Harper, center point. 37 to go in the period. Harper, a rising shot. The right wing circle goes wide. That'll be picked up by Uri Rauja at center. James Goes directing traffic. Rauja finds Gervais into the zone. Nick Sema tied up by Jackson Culver gets to the puck first. 23 to go in the period. Rauja, right point. James Go. Levi Harper twisting it into the corner. Deflected by Rauja. Knocked away by London's Clark. Jackson Culver run into by Gervais back behind the London goal. This one picked up here by Logan Hari. 8 seconds left. Can the Knights skate it back out? Yes. Can they get one more opportunity here? Braden Clark tries to get past Harper. Here comes Clark. Right circle, shoots and scores. 9/10 of a second left in the first period. And the London Knights take a 1-0 lead on the shot by Braden Clark. Fifth goal of the season for Braden Clark, and for Saginaw, who played probably one of their better first periods in Canada Life Place here over the last handful of years. They got caught a little sleepy at the tail end of this first period. So they got to come out here for one more face-off. And boy, is that going to change the script a little bit in the first intermission. 20 minutes are in the books. A little bit of jawing, but not much else. Braden Clark in the final 9/10 of a second. As Van Bommel and Josh Glavin exchange words, Saginaw needs a spark here in this second intermission. 11 shots apiece, 1-0 the London lead back into the dressing room. We'll unpack that first period. Lots to talk about here. First intermission report with Jonathan and myself. Coming back after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Mike Miner to create your personal price plan today.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
It's time for your intermission report. In the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, here is Jonathan Dent.
A
An interesting first 20 minutes of play between the Saginaw Spirit and London Knights. Both teams finding some good chances. Nothing develops until a last-second goal from the Knights has them out to a 1-0 lead. We'll take a look back through that first period, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. It was a slower stop-and-go start to this one. A little bit of a feeling out process, but the speed slowly started to pick up. London got a couple tests on Shurigan, and Saginaw set up camp in the offensive end, getting some good looks of their own early on.
James Go near side, Levi Harper. Throws the pass high, turned to the net by Gervais. A shot stopped by Medvedev. Rauscher turns another one. Another pad save by Medvedev.
As things settled into a rhythm here, Saginaw stayed in the driver's seat for some extended time, possession in the offensive end, dialing in their chances and getting some really close looks.
Out of the right wing corner up to the point. This is James Go again. Shot into traffic, deflected, and a save made by Medvedev. Storch got lumber on that. Medvedev got a glove. Up high, this is Storch. A point shot tipped again there and just wide. Miroslav Satan picked it up off the wall. Near side, Levi Harper. Snapped on through. James Go just inside the blue line. Another shot tipped and another save made by Medvedev with the blocker.
The Knights started to throw the body around a little bit after that. The Saginaw Spirit continuing to hammer away at Medvedev. And that opens up some room for London to generate some offense for a couple shifts. Stepan Shurigan comes up with some very nice saves during this time.
Finally pulled out by Zakharov. Brown at the left point. Takes a shot, tipped on its way. Save made by Shurigan. The puck is loose in front and finally covered by the Spirit goaltender.
Back and forth it goes, possession on either end of the ice remaining, well, pretty even. And it comes down to the last second as the Knights break out of their own end. Braden Clark drives down the right side all the way from his own blue line. He's kept at a steep angle, but he manages to score to put the Knights up 1-0.
Can they get one more opportunity here? Braden Clark tries to get past Harper. Here comes Clark. Right circle, shoots, and scores! 9/10 of a second left in the first period. And the London Knights take a 1-0 lead on the shot by Braden Clark.
Less than a second left. Logan Hari and Linus Funk registered the assists on that one. Shots on goal through the first, 11-11, dead even between these two teams. Neither team getting a chance on the power play. And the only goal is that one we just heard, Braden Clark's 5th of the season, assisted by Hari and Funk. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, Dylan and I break down that first period. Despite the low scoring and seemingly tame stats, it was a very interesting 20 minutes. We'll talk about that coming up next on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at GarberChesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie now has 2 buzzing locations to enjoy. Visit us in downtown Frankenmuth or in uptown Bay City. We offer a full bar, menu, and memorable atmosphere. Walk-ins are always welcome, and Bay City is now accepting reservations online at prostwinebar.com. Open 7 days a week. Make Prost Wine Bar in Frankenmuth or uptown Bay City your destination for great wine and even better times.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Welcome back. After one period of play, the Saginaw Spirit down 1-0 against the London Knights. It took 19 minutes, 59 seconds for that to change. We'll bring in from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth, Dylan Clark. Dylan, it's a weird first period, not really what we expected. We saw the rivalry between the Spirit and the Knights hyped up in the time leading up to this game. It's being broadcast on Canadian national television there, and kind of a slower first period.
Yeah, you know what? I had to check a couple of times to make sure that this was a Spirit and a London Knights game, that I wasn't in the wrong building or that, I wasn't confused. That was one of the more relatively tame first periods I think we've seen between these two hockey teams in a while. I'm surprised. I don't know if it's going to stay that way. I mean, we saw some jawing on the way off the ice. Van Bommel, Van Gorp going back and forth with Josh Glavin and Jacob Kluche. But you know what? There's talk and then there's actual action. Like, I don't know if there are guys left over that'll actually, kind of mix it up. I think it would make things a lot more interesting if there were. I think we'll see in the second period. We'll see in the early goings of it exactly where everybody's mindset is right now, because on the one hand, how many times have the Knights kind of sucked Saginaw into a bad situation with the kind of the post-whistle shenanigans? Saginaw finds himself down a man power play goal against, and that's kind of all she wrote at whatever time of the game that is. So you don't want to fall into that trap, but at the same time, I like the attention that Jacob Kluche gave to Rene Van Bommel after the shot on Stepan Shurigan after the whistle went for offside. It was just a little bit late. Kluche made a beeline for him. Didn't cross a line, didn't take a penalty, but just said, hey, we're not doing that. So I'd like to see a little bit more of that backed up in the second period.
When we look at how things are going for the Spirit through 20 minutes of play, something that sticks out to me, especially in the offensive end, they've kind of been smothered with pressure in the offensive end in their last few meetings. That's not quite the case. They've got a little bit of breathing room, a little bit of room to move around. They're moving the puck well, and they're getting good looks at the net.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of traffic through. They're getting a lot of shots through traffic, I should say, in that first period. Like you said, 11 shots apiece. And we've seen a lot of times, especially on the road this year, this team's kind of taking a little bit of time to really build the offense. Like, I think Saginaw might have their best offense all figured out by the third period, and they're not waiting this time, though. They were getting a lot of good looks. They were getting shots through. Again, I would say out of the 11 shots that they had on Alexei Medvedev, at least 7 or 8 of them were off of a deflection, and pretty difficult chances for him to make the stop. So that's not really an area of concern. I think if they keep that up in the offensive zone, they're going to find their way through at some point. It becomes such an extra weight when you play so well in a first period against a team that you struggle with in their building, and then literally less than a second left in the period, one finds the back of your net. It makes it just a little bit more of a tough pill to swallow as Clark gets around Levi Harper there on that play wide. Again, is what it is. Not much you can do about it at this point, but you got to play the full 20. You can't play 1959.
Absolutely. On the defensive end, Saginaw has been seeing some shots, nothing too dangerous, but what has been like the better looks from London has been right on their doorstep as they're trying to keep that out. What have you been seeing on the defensive side from the Spirit?
Yeah, I think some saves from Stepan Shurigan that were certainly the difference maker in that first period. You'd like to see him get the puck out a little bit quickly, a little bit quicker. We've talked about that a lot. We saw some flubbed zone exit passes from Xander Valeris, Levi Harper, Josh Glavin. Just, they go to make the pass and, the puck didn't move. They moved their stick, but the puck didn't go anywhere. That can't happen. You get away with it a couple of times in the first period, okay. You think back to in years past, they would do that against this London team, and that puck would be in the back of the net 95% of the time. So they get away with a couple of mental mistakes. They can't afford to make any more.
Absolutely. Moving into the second period here, no power plays, no penalties to speak of, but a 1-0 difference. Saginaw, what do they need to do differently to turn the tide, or is it just keep on keeping on and you'll find it eventually?
I don't think keep on keeping on is enough here in this game. Like, things are even, things are tight, but they haven't really escalated quite yet.
Yeah.
It was a pretty casual first period. Saginaw cannot be casual here in the next 20 minutes if they want to walk out of here with 2 points. Because, again, the position they're in right now, they're in the 8th place in the Western Conference. We're past U.S. Thanksgiving. This is a bitter rival. They gotta play like it and make some ground up here in the Western Conference because, again, think how much harder it's going to be facing off against London at the Dow Event Center tomorrow night if you don't get the 2 points tonight.
Absolutely, Dylan. Casual, a good word for the first period here. I had in my notes, they're just playing hockey. Maybe they need to do more than just play hockey moving into the second period. We'll find out coming up. Before that, a look at our out-of-town scores brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings right here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Caro, Croswell, and Seaboing factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit hockey team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go Spirit!
Garber Buick is America's oldest Buick dealership. Our factory-trained service technicians deliver precision care to keep your vehicle performing at its best. We also have an award-winning body shop. We even sell parts and tires. You truly get it all at Garber Buick. Better service, better selection, and better prices. Garber Buick, State Street in Saginaw. Online, garberbuick.com. Buick, exceptional by design.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What?
Huh? I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Chris Barrios to create your personal price plan today.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back. After one period of play, the London Knights hold a 1-0 lead over the visiting Saginaw Spirit as we take our look around the league, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. Lots of action in the OHL and some pretty close games as well as we check in after the first period. The Kitchener Rangers down 2-1 against the visiting Niagara Ice Dogs. Niagara takes the early lead. Kitchener responds about 10 minutes later, but Niagara with the 2-1 lead heading into the third, thanks to a goal with 2 minutes left from Ryan Rubrick. The Ottawa 67s at home, currently down 1-0 against the Oshawa Generals. In Brampton, the Steelheads are up 1-0 against the visiting Brantford Bulldogs. It's a scoreless tie through the first in Kingston as the Frontenacs host the North Bay Battalion. Only one penalty to speak of there, so maybe a similar game to what we're seeing in London. The shot count there, 11-10. So yeah, pretty similar to what we've been seeing through the first 20 minutes. The Sarnia Sting Western Division action against the visiting Sioux Greyhounds. Sarnia up 2-0 after 20 minutes. Another 2-0 lead for the home team as the Sudbury Wolves currently outshooting the Barrie Colts 13-8. Through one period. And it's a 2-2 tie heading into the second between the Windsor Spitfires and the Guelph Storm. Guelph gets out to a 2-0 lead in the first 10 minutes of the game. And in the second 10 minutes, the Spits get it back 2-2 going into the second there. It's a 1-0 lead for the London Knights. Saginaw looking to make up the difference here in the second. Second period action coming up next on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Enjoy the spirit of Frankenmuth and score big with your kids at the indoor water parks. The puck stops here in Funtown, where fan favorites include chicken and Christmas, but there's really so much more. Arcades, breweries, carriage rides, shopping, and pretzel rolling. Frankenmuth, where we leave the icing to the dessert. 800 Funtown. No matter how cold it is outside or in the hockey rink, there's loads of indoor fun waiting just down the road in Frankenmuth.
When you're ready for checking that earns interest and gives you perks, Merc Perks Plus from Mercantile Bank is here. With a competitive interest rate and perks like travel services, cashback rewards, and identity protection, Merc Perks Plus has everything you need for your busy lifestyle. Merc Perks Plus also offers discounts on consumer loans and access to almost 40,000 fee-free MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mercbank.com/mercperksplus. Member FDIC.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Welcome back inside Canada Life Place as we get set to begin the second period. 1-0, the Knights have a lead on the late goal from Braden Clark in the first. 11 shots apiece in the first 20 minutes of play. Alexei Medvedev and Stepan Shurigan have been busy. No carryover penalties or power plays because there weren't any penalties in that first period, if you can believe that. Van Gorp against Sebastian Gervais for the opening draw of the second. Check that. We'll have to re-drop the puck, and it's Ben Wilmot to take the draw on the London side of things. Nick Sema has joined Gervais on the right side. Uri Rauja on the left. As the Spirit move left to right here in the second period, a little extra instruction from the referee, Aaron Neely. And now we can roll with the second period here. It's Hayden Barnes up the near side. Taken away by Jackson Culver, poked away by Barnes, reeled in now by Uri Rauja. Off the far boards, taken and fired back into the Spirit end by Linus Funk. Up the near sideboards, Jackson Culver wheels that one to the net, out the other side. Linus Funk, right shot defenseman, fires it back in. Jackson Culver jammed up by Hayden Barnes, and the puck up the near boards taken by Sebastian Gervais. 9 points in 10 games in the month of November for Sebastian Gervais. Turned back into the London zone. Linus Funk hit by Nick Sema. Saginaw trying to establish a more physical presence here in the second. Jackson Culver takes it back out from center. Long strides up into the offensive zone. Tries to stick handle around Gervais. Sharp angle chance. That one off a body in front, I think from below the goal line. Logan Hari shrugging that one off. And this up to the left point for Bruce Devitt. A shot absorbed by the goaltender Stepan Shurigan. 56 seconds gone in the second period as Ben Wilmot tried to at least consider the Michigan. As that puck rolled up on its edge, and he tried to pick it up and was looking to go over the shoulder of Shurigan. No dice there. Dimas Yilkin to take this face-off here for the Spirit. And Jonathan mentioned during the intermission the disparity in face-offs, 13-5 in favor of the London Knights in that first period. This one is won by Saginaw's Yilkin. Out the far side, that puck mishandled, though, by Barabanov. No icing. Klepov gets in first. Now for Barabanov. And behind the net, centering feed for Zhilkin. That put just wide. Best scoring chance of the game for Saginaw. Zhilkin battles for it still. Van Gorp tosses it to the middle. This is Brady Waslin. Fired down the right side into the Spirit end. Goals in 4 consecutive hockey games for Waslin as he tries to chase down Glavin. And Donnie Themis puts it into the corner there for Waslin. O'Reilly hit by Saginaw's Josh Glavin. Hayden Barch puts Van Gorp into the wall. O'Reilly unties himself from Glavin. Bruce Devitt's up at the left point now. Battle continues in front of the Saginaw net. Now the puck fired around, and it's picked up by Hayden Barch. Jammed up the wall. Off a skate. Picked up and moved out to center by Barabanov. Zhilkin into the offensive zone. Tries to cut through. Takes a shot. Stopped by Medvedev, and the puck sat down in between his pads. Wasn't exactly where he thought it was. But he gets a whistle and a face-off here. Zhilkin locked up with one of the Knights. 18:08 to go here in the second period. Dimas Zhilkin, aside from being the OHL's Academic Player of the Month, a couple of words with Brady Waslin on the way back to the bench. 26 points in 20 games for Zhilkin. 38 penalty minutes as well. He is their leading penalty minute getter. Carson Harmer will take this face-off between Brody Papoy and Jacob Kluche. Braden Clark, 13th round pick by the London Knights in 2021, will take this face-off. Off the draw, it comes back, and Julian Brown will fire it off the glass out to center. Blake Barnes twisting that one back in. Brown stretch pass, mishandled by Clark. Jones for Kluche into the offensive end for Saginaw. Harmer, left wing circle, shot ramped up the leg and out of play as that hit Sokolovsky. Into the netting, it goes out of play. We mentioned no penalties in the first period between these two teams. And that is a rarity, as they have combined for at least 5 in each game so far, or in each game during last year's season series. Off the offensive zone faceoff, Kluche finds Barnes, takes a shot, blocker saved by Medvedev. That rebound's going to go all the way back out past center red. Blake Barnes up the near side. Brody Papoy felt the pressure of Sokolovsky and put the puck back in behind the London goal. Cook gets it out past the pinching Graydon Jones, but it goes down for an icing. 17:26 to go in this second period. Penalties were certainly a factor in Saginaw's last win in this building. October the 18th of 2024. 5-1 victory to silence the London crowd. They go 3 for 8 on the power play and allow just 3 London power plays themselves. A couple of goals from Zane Perek, Michael Misa, a couple of assists in that game. That's been their only win in this building since March of 2019. 4-1 win that needed 4 goals from Cole Perfetti and a 46-save performance from Ivan Prosvetov. This is the first time the Spirit have had a Russian goaltender since Prosvetov and Stepan Shurigan. 1-0 London here early in the second. Saginaw picks up after an offensive zone face-off, and the other Russian netminder, Medvedev, will absorb that long shot from Dima Zhilkin. Face-off in the offensive zone for Saginaw. The noise is increasing, but this is anything but a typical Knights Spirit game. At least when you compare it to the last handful of battles that these two teams have had. Saginaw just 834, 2-1 in this building all time. So a less than friendly environment, to say the least, and the Knights have this after a defensive zone faceoff. Puck snapped around the wall, back into the Saginaw end. Levi Harper gets after it, ahead of Brady Wazelin. Igor Barabanov. Pass up to Harper in the neutral zone, cut off by Wazelin. Knights turn it the other direction, on and off the stick of O'Reilly. Swept back across. Van Gorp down the right side. Can't get around James Go. Dima Zhilkin there for Levi Harper. Picked up by Nikita Klepov. Thrown back in behind the London goal and swatted aside by the netminder Medvedev. Knights will see O'Reilly put that up, and it's held in by Storch. A shot goes off Barabanov and wide, just barely held in. Barabanov from the corner looking in front, finds Harper, right circle, shoots, and another blocker saved by Medvedev. James Go, just inside the line. Nikita Klepov, high in the offensive zone for Saginaw. 3.5 gone in the period. James Go down low, looking back door. Barabanov tied up by O'Reilly. Van Gorp back in behind the London net. They've preserved a 1-0 lead. Wazelin can't get it out. Klepov braces for contact. James Go knocks it off the boards. Glove down by Klepov, looking cross-ice. Nicely intercepted there by O'Reilly. And he leads the London counterattack. Klepov on the back check. Just gets a stick in to disrupt that pass. Van Gorp is hit by James Go. Nikita Klepov. Over for Levi Harper. Up into the neutral zone. Liam Storch spins it on through. Picked up by Miroslav Shatan. Chopped to the net. Easy blocker save. Medvedev wraparound chance by Shatan. That one shut down. From the right point. Barks the rising shot. That's into the glass. Around it rolls. Glavin keeps it alive. Kluche up high. One hand on his stick. Moves it near side. Hayden Barks on through. It goes off the skate of Storch and back out into the neutral zone. It's a foot race for Kluche. He gets back first against Zakharov. And now the Knights have numbers. Max Crete forces a turnover. He's closed off by Josh Glavin. D-to-D pass in the offensive zone for the Knights. This is Brustevich into the circle. Takes a shot. Gloved out of the air by Stepan Shurigan. And he's got an extra poke there from the Knights that are in front. 15-16 to go in this second period. Still a 1-0 lead for the London Knights, and it was Caden Hawkins who had that extra chop there for Stephon Shurigan. Everybody will get fresh bodies on. Saginaw 3 shots to 2 here in this second period. A couple of good chances. Getting Alexei Medvedev moving left and right in that earlier scrum. Off the offensive zone face-off, Jackson Culver's shot gets blocked. Henry Brustevich on the loose puck. Puts it in front alone. Here's a chance. Hari, broken play, sent just wide as he had Shurigan swimming. Puck out of play, 15:08 left here in the frame. This third line here for London's had a lot of really good chances. Jackson Culver, Ben Wilmot, and Logan Hari. Wilmot, a goal and an assist against the Sioux Greyhounds on the 22nd. One of 6 players on NHL Central Scouting's watch list here for the Knights. A W-ranked prospect. D-zone faceoff taken here by Saginaw's Carson Harmer. Moved around, Brody Papoy. Similarly ranked prospect according to NHL Central Scouting. Carson Harmer throws a hit there into Ben Wilmot. Puck back down below the Spirit goal line. Glavin hits Hari, centering feed into the skates of Wilmot. Can't get a shot off, and the one he does gets blocked. Hari back in behind the Spirit net. Saginaw emerges unscathed from that. Papoy's got to get this out of the zone. Does to Kluche, gets it around a man. Jacob Kluche, maybe an odd man break, takes a shot. Save Medvedev, rebound, they score! The loose puck pumped home by Carson Harmer. Goals in back-to-back games. The Spirit tie the game at 1. For this Spirit hockey team to have success, Carson Harmer and Jacob Kluche need to be playing like they have been for the last handful of nights. 6th goal of the season for Carson Harmer. Hard to the ice with his stick down. Kluche gets a loose puck tap in the neutral zone around the defenseman and immediately puts his head down full speed into the right circle and sends a pass across. It's a bit of a broken play, but Carson Harmer picks up his 6th of the year to get Saginaw on the board. Here they come again. Shot by Nick Sema goes off a body onto the far boards for Uri Rauja. He gets cleaned out there on the hit from Max Sokolov. Puck in the corner. Nick Sema tied up now with Brown. Taken by Gervais up high. Rauja the shot blocked on its way through. Now Van Bommel. Flipped it back out to the red line at center. James Gull throws it across Levi Harper. Up the wall. Gervais tried to knock it down for Sema. The Knights take it, move it around the near side. While chopped, but glove down by James Gull at the point. His pass gets deflected high into the air and ends up in the left corner. Sema sends it underneath for Uri Rauja. Turned around by Julian Brown. Bouncing puck kicked out by Van Bommel, gotten out to center, and it's Levi Harper again as Rauja touches up. Harper tries to get around his man Sokolovsky. He gets knocked down, and the Knights are on this puck again. Julian Brown up to Van Bommel, gets it out past James Go. This is Cook down the left side for London, closed off by Klepov. Van Bommel left wing corner. 6.5 minutes gone here in the second period. Carson Harmer has the equalizer for the Saginaw Spirit here at 1-1. Sam O'Reilly out of the offensive corner. Now up high, Linus Funk looking for a lane. That one blocked by the left skate of Uri Rauja. And around the near side boards, O'Reilly and Woolley put it back down behind the net of Shurigan. Van Bommel off the far boards. Long point shot from Linus Funk goes into the glass. This is Woolley from the left wing hash marks. Klepov can't get it away from him. O'Reilly and Gervais lock up in behind the goal. Puck turned around and picked up by Harper. Nearly stolen there by Van Bommel. It will be taken here. Van Gorp out of the right corner. Chased down and shouldered by James Go. Van Gorp stays on it. Moves the puck for O'Reilly. Taken out of the corner by Wasla. Nice move to cut back and a good blocker save by Stephon Shurigan. Now Woolley from the circle. Throws it cross ice. Pinballs off a handful of sticks. Now Gervais able to calmly get that puck out at center. Bounces past Uri Rauja. Knights will restart. Waslin for O'Reilly. Cross ice. Puck gloved down by Dimas Yilkin off the deflection. Tries to flip it up into the air for Klepov. And Saginaw offside as Linus Funk leaped up and swatted that puck down with a glove. 12:23 left in the second period. Kluche and Harmer link up. They've got Saginaw on the board. It's 1-1. We're back to London in a moment.
You really do get it all at Garber Midland. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see how you can get it all at Garber Midland at the corner of Saginaw and Eastman. See all our inventory online at garbermidland.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Hi, this is James Go, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM, WSGW.
James Go in his 250th OHL game. Brings us back to Canada Life Place. 1-1 with 12:23 to go in the second period. They've added a Brody Popoy assist to go with Jacob Cloutier on the Carson Harmer goal. So that second line here for Saginaw has put together some of their better shifts over the last two hockey games. And Carson Harmer has goals in back-to-back contests. As things trending in a positive direction there. Neutral zone face-off outside the London line. One back by Dimas Yilkin. Igor Barabanov up the right side. Cuts into the offensive zone. Between the dots, lets a shot go. And it goes into the glove of Alexei Medvedev for a stop with 12:15 to go here in this second period. Face-off in the offensive end again, as Yilkin seems to be the face-off guy in this line here tonight. This time the Knights will win this one, and Woolley chops it around the wall. Blake Barnes there, can't hold it in. Thrown into the offensive end by Yilkin and knocked down by London's Woolley. Broken play, puck back into the Spirit end. Barabanov for Xander Valeris, pass too far ahead of Nikita Klepov. And so down for an icing. As that'll stall the offensive momentum heading back the other way for the Spirit. 11:57 to go. As O'Reilly will take this draw. He was one of their standout players in that Memorial Cup run, really in both Memorial Cup runs. 5 points in their championship, 4 points in the year they lost to Saginaw. Chris Lazary has said several times that he felt Sam O'Reilly was the best player on the ice for the London Knights in the playoffs and in the Memorial Cup that year. First round pick to the Edmonton Oilers, eventually traded to Tampa Bay. Here's Van Gorp. A stretch pass to find his captain, Sam O'Reilly. Down the right wing, he spins away from Saginaw, Xander Valeris. Back at the point, this is Brustevich. Thrown back and behind the net, Klepov lets it come to him. Jammed it up past Andoni Femus and out to center. Henry Brustevich as we near the midway point of this hockey game. 1-1 here in the second period. Igor Barabanov lays it into an area, and so it's skated into by Nikita Klepov. Taps the brakes and drops it off for Zhilkin. Now into the corner below the goal line. Zhilkin taken into the boards there. After a check from Mike Zakharov, this one flipped up and out to center ice again by the Knights, so it's Klepov back to pick it up. Guides it over to Josh Glavin. Up to center red. Fired back in. Partial line change coming for Saginaw. Here's Popoy. Trying to stop the breakout on the London side. Jacob Cloutier does. He seals off the boards, and the Knights inadvertently throw that off their own goaltender. Medvedev makes a stop. Now here's Cloutier after the broken puck. Back up to the left point. Glavin finds Barch. Walks to the circle. Shot gets blocked. Rebound off the end wall. Jammed after by Popoy, but can't get it to the net. Barch is hit. Moves the puck underneath. Brustevich is taken into the boards by Saginaw's Cloutier. And Donnie Femus is there as well. Brody Popoy enters the equation. Everybody stacked on top of one another in that corner. The puck is visible, but it's not moving. And finally, they'll blow things dead as Brody Popoy and Donnie Femus are in a battle right now. 10:20 left in this second period. 1-1 between Saginaw and London. Knights without Cohen Bidgood and Will Nickel due to some injuries. Bidgood out since his last game was October the 19th against the Kitchener Rangers. He had a 16 point streak going into that. Another one of their players that NHL Central Scouting has eyes on. 8 points in 10 games this year for the rookie. Will Nickel had upper body surgery in August. 7th rounder to the Edmonton Oilers. He's expected to make his return in January. Saginaw nearing the debut of Drew Roscoe as well on the back end as we talk about players back from injury. James Go in the offensive end for Levi Harper. Now to Carson Harmer up high, sends a shot to the net. Deflected, save made by Medvedev as Popoy got a stick on that. As Popoy getting rocked back and forth between Hari and Sokolovsky. Then Wilmot and Carson Harmer locked up right now. We've seen more in this game than at any point in the year. Saginaw gets shots through from the middle of the blue line. Medvedev was prone and he was falling forward as he's able to make that stop as a positional save more than anything. But both Jacob Kluche and Brody Popoy were in front, so that meant whatever two London Knights were covering them. So 4 bodies very much in the eye line of Alexei Medvedev. He's able to make the save. Shot off the draw there from Uri Rauza, turned aside by Medvedev and off the outside of the goal. This one off the board. Seema's going to twist that one. Comes into the glass in the near side corner. Inside 10 to go here in the second period. 1-1. Goals by Clark and Harmer. As this puck comes to rest in the far corner boards, Woolley turned it over. Gervais the shot. Fought off by a shrugging Medvedev. And the net has come off. Medvedev shakes his head to make sure the mask is still on right. 9:41 left. Medvedev's all smiles. Shake that one off. That was a heavy wrist shot from Sebastian Gervais from just about 20 feet out. And Medvedev leapt up into the air from his knees to try and seal off. There's only about 4 or 5 inches, depending on the height of the goaltender. Medvedev on the taller side at 6'3". There's not a lot of room up there, but you got to try to seal it off. And guys try to pick corners. Here's a chance for Klepov off the offensive zone faceoff. Puck winds up in the corner after it was fanned on. Linus Funk picks it up for the Knights. Gets it back out to the neutral zone. James Go quickly to it. Knocked out of the air by Wilmot. Into the offensive zone for the Knights. Jackson Cover with him. James Go cuts off Wilmot. Klepov, pocket pick. This is Cover. Down the right wing, driving wide on Harper. Gets his shot away. Save made by Shurigan, and Cover buzzes the tower a little bit. Nobody's got anything extra to say about that. 9:14 left in the second. Jackson Cover, one of the other highly touted prospects from the Cayman Islands on the London side of things. He grew up playing roller hockey. He's just in his 5th season of actually playing ice hockey. He's got points in 3 straight hockey games. 4th rounder by the Knights in 2024, 19 points in his last 23 games played. He's had 5 shots on goal in each of the Knights' last 3 games as well. Saginaw's cleared this puck. It'll go down for icing, but a scrap down to our left. Josh Glavin going with Rene Van Bommel. Took everybody a little bit to pick it up. They're trading rights right now in front of the Saginaw net. Glavin comes over with a top. Van Bommel, and a good connected right there by Glavin. Van Bommel comes over the top again. Glavin trying to get the helmet free. They're still going. Good scrap between 5 and 55. Van Bommel trying to switch to uppercuts. Glavin gets the right free. No more helmet for Josh Glavin. Glavin comes over the top with the right. Van Bommel tangled up now. Glavin can't get that helmet off. Van Bommel swings. They're still up, and then the takedown as Van Bommel swings down Glavin. A good scrap from Josh Glavin, Rene Van Bommel. Glavin, some claps back to the Spirit bench. And would you know it, our first 2 penalties in this hockey game come past the halfway mark. That was one that was very likely discussed at an early juncture in the game. Again, the Knights iced things, and that's what the officials are talking about right now. Is where should this face-off come? They will rule it back down to our left, so Saginaw's going to get the change. I believe Valeris will come on for Josh Glavin. But Satan, Gervais, and Storch all stay out. It's not quite what it was a couple of years ago, but still, there's not much in the Ontario Hockey League that's going to beat Saginaw and London. So Glavin and Van Bommel will watch for a little bit. We'll make sure that they don't pick up anything else. There's always the possibility that they pick up an extra penalty for quote-unquote staging a fight. And again, that broke out down to our left after the puck was thrown to the right on an icing. There were a lot of punches traded in that one. That fight probably went on for a full shift. 45 seconds, maybe even a minute. This might not sound like that long, but, well, getting punched in the face for a minute can feel like a little bit longer than some other activities. As we're still trying to figure out exactly where we're going to drop this puck, what the penalties are. Again, Chad Ingles and Aaron Neely, the referees tonight. I think they've got things all sorted out. No other penalties. We'll skate at 5-on-5. Mike Zakharov to take the face-off in the offensive end for London. Gervais wins it. The Spirit can't clear. Bouncing puck intercepted nicely by Gervais. Back out at center. Miroslav Shatan chops it into the offensive zone. Liam Storch to pursue. Zakharov closed off by Storch. Max Creed off the boards. This is Hawkins. Turned it right onto the stick of Sebastian Gervais at the Spirit blue line. Miroslav Shatan into the zone with speed, but no more puck. Hayden Barch follows on. The defenseman now into the corner. Held up by Max Creed. Liam Storch moved off the pile here by Julian Brown. Puck moved up the wall by Shatan. Gets put into it. Zakharov give and go with Hawkins. Zakharov 3-on-2 for the Knights. Get it back in front. Pad save by Shurigan. They score on the rebound. Knights take advantage of the numbers. Shurigan shuts down Zakharov. Hayden Hawkins is there for the rebound. 8:23 to go in the second. London's up 2-1. Fourth of the season for Hawkins. Knights just get in with the extra numbers. Stepan Shurigan makes a great first save. With the rebound just hanging out there. And the St. Louis native puts it home here for London to give him back the lead. No surprise that Chris Lashley goes with the second line after that goal. Harmer, Kluche, Brody Popoy. Face-off won by Carson Harmer at center. Braden Jones for Blake Barnes. Fumbled the puck a little bit. Jackson Cover's on him. Cover steals. Puck back in behind the Spirit net. Hari in front. Couple of pad saves made by Shurigan. It's Carson Harmer. Shrugs off a hit. Knights smell blood in the water. They're throwing the body around a little bit more. Brody Popoy settles his puck down at center. Turns it into the right corner. Cover. Little hook there for Popoy. Play continues. Cover's got it up the near side. Gets it back up to Wilmot now at center. Shouldered by Jacob Kluche. Stepan Shurigan out of his net to move it. Jones. Kluche up the near side. Pass intended for Carson Harmer. Misfired and goes down for an icing. Mikhail Zakharov and Julian Brown will pick up the assists on the second London goal. And we see what we've been waiting to see for the last little bit. Their physicality turning up here in this second period. Knights trying to break away a little bit. Shots 20-18 in favor of Saginaw still. Shots on goal brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters. Long point shot by Andani Themis off the faceoff is easily gloved and held by Stepan Shurigan. OHL's minutes and saves leader. Over 1,200 minutes and counting now. 636 saves coming into this contest. 23 games out of the 26 that Saginaw has played. He's seen action. Puck moved back around for Saginaw after a defensive zone faceoff. Klepov backhands it away, and Donnie Themis on it for the Knights. Van Gorp can't hold it at the offensive blue line. So James Go takes it away from Shurigan, or in behind Shurigan. Saginaw gets it up the wall. Klepov trying to find Barabanov. Backhanded pass. Jilkin in with speed. Dropped it off. Left circle. Barabanov in front. Klepov has a chance. Handcuffed there by Wasilin. Van Gorp on this puck up the right side. Hit by Dimas Jilkin. No more puck there. Kept alive by Barabanov, but quickly taken back by Sam O'Reilly. Now for Andani Themis off the glass and out at center. Pass Levi Harper and a bouncing puck, so no icing. James Go back in the Saginaw end. Puck comes back in front, picked up by Nikita Klepov. Pass for Barabanov, misfired. So there goes that rush for Saginaw. 6:40 to go here in this second period, 2-1 London. They'll bump this up the near side. O'Reilly's got speed and a good gap against Levi Harper. Dropped it off, Van Gorp back on through. Out the other side, O'Reilly off the boards. One-time shot hits a body and comes all the way down back where Medvedev's out of his net to play. Line change for the Spirit. Brody Cook throws it back in behind the Saginaw goal. Clark puts it in front. Broken play. Settled down by James Go off the wall. Uri Rauja. Headmans this puck down the left side. Sebastian Gervais trying to beat Funk there. Long shot pad saved by Medvedev. Gervais wheels this puck back around. Hayden Barch down from the point. Underneath, this is Gervais. Put it back in front for Sema. Shot goes wide. Hayden Barch centering feed. That one's cut off and moved out of danger by Cook. Sema turnaround chance from just off the goal line. Gets it back, and this shot goes up and into the glass. Valeris hit by Cook. Linus Funk is on this on the near corner for London. Uses the boards and gets it out at center. Wilmot up through center ice. Big time collision as he knocks into Nick Sema. Hayden Barch comes over. Throws the body into Clark. 5.5 to go here in the second. Xander Valeris gets this up the center over the head of Uri Rauja. Knocked down, and Woolley moves it over. Linus Funk up for Cook. Played it back into the Saginaw end. Valeris finishes his check on Cook, and Nick Seaman's back behind the Spirit net to pick things up. Hayden Barch off the end wall for Xander Valeris. 5:10 left in the second. Still 2-1 after that goal from Caden Hawkins. Barch for Sema into the offensive zone as he gets stood up. Knights move it back the other direction. Zakharov over the offensive blue line. 2-on-1. Pulls up in the circle. Great back check by Brody Popoy. Lifts the stick at the last second. Puck back in front. Sema's got to get after this one. He's out of gas. This one backhanded in by Hawkins. Carson Harmer gets to the corner. Knocked off it by Max Crete. Xander Valeris closed off by Hawkins. Puck in the corner. Brody Popoy gets to it here for the Spirit. Flips it out to center. He'll buy some time. And Sema labors to get back to the bench. So does Xander Valeris. Puck back in behind the Knights net. 4.5 to go here in the period. Hawkins up through center ice. Hits the red line and throws it over the head of Stepan Shurigan. Bounces off the glass. Blake Barnes up the wall. Popoy picks it up just inside the Spirit line. Turns around. Long stretch pass picked up by Kluche on the back end. Stops just inside the London line, though. He's kicked out by Henry Brustevich. Braden Jones then for Barnes. The Spirit defenseman just punches it back into the London zone. They give it away, though. Kluche off the wall. Throws it cross ice looking for Barabanov. Off the far boards. Barabanov, one stick handle too many. Knights will steal it right back. Wilmot up for Crete. Down the left side. Crete throws it back into the glass behind Shurigan. Braden Jones with a little time here. Up for Kluche. Mishandled that puck. Barabanov in the slot. Or in the middle of the ice, rather. This one comes back now to Jones. Just at the Saginaw blue line. Back up Barabanov. Things very tight right now here in the second period. Barabanov pass to the middle. Jones, a pocket pick. Can't get a shot away. Nikita Klepov just inside the line. Rolls to the middle. Here's Klepov between the dots. Shot never got through. It hit Van Gorp up high. Klepov gets it back, and another shot goes wide. Van Gorp's trying to get back to the bench. He'll stay in the play. As Andoni Femus shoulders Yilkin in front for Klepov, the one-timer that just goes wide. Kept in by James Go. Knights get another man back from the bench on the change. Jilkin high in the zone. Takes a shot through traffic. Doesn't get all the way through. Braden Jones down below the goal line. Put in front off the pads of Medvedev. Wilmot flips it back up and out to center ice. Jilkin waits for everybody to touch up and wrists it back in. Barabanov on the far boards. To the circle. Rising shot again, saved by Medvedev, but the net is off. 2:43 to go in the second, and the Saginaw bench going to bark a little bit more. And Donnie Femus with a couple of swipes for one of the Spirit players. Klepov and Brustevich as well. And that altercation is going to continue as Klepov going to remove the helmet of Brustevich, who comes over the top with a little bit more. I think both will go. Van Bommel and Josh Lavin have just been released from the penalty box, but they'll have two new occupants. 2:43 left in the second period, 2-1 London. We're back after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
In hockey, every play counts, and retirement's no different. At McIntosh & Associates, we're your financial line mates, helping you skate through the tough stuff. Taxes, healthcare, income planning, and more. You bring the goals. We'll help set up the assist. Schedule your visit at wealthmichigan.com or call 989-692-2200. Retirement made clear with a team that plays to win.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Back inside Canada Life Place, where the penalties are starting to make things look a little bit more normal here. Henry Brustevich and Nikita Klepov in the respective penalty boxes right now after a Post-whistle scrum will anticipate offsetting icing, offsetting icing. That would be something. Offsetting roughing minors here. So we'll skate at 4-on-4 inside the final 3 minutes of this second period. And Saginaw is in the midst of a pretty good offensive run there. And it's the same lines that have been doing it all night. Klepov, Barabanov, Jacob Kluche was involved, Brody Popoy, and Carson Harmer as well. And Evan Van Gorp on the London side of things took, I believe, a deflected puck up high. He was able to get off back to the bench and avoid being trapped in the zone. I do not see him on the London bench right now, so we'll conclude that he's back in the dressing room getting some repairs right now. That's a big part of this London top six. So Gervais, Kluche, Go, and Harper, the four for the Spirit, and that is Harper with a P, the defenseman, not Carson Harmer. O'Reilly, Funk, Wasselin, and Woolley, the four for the London Knights, and Jared Woolley's got it right now in behind Alexei Medvedev. They are roughing penalties to Klepov and Brustevich. James Go on this puck at center. Tosses it down the boards. And there is that icing that we may have spoken into existence. 2:27 left in the period. Faceoff comes all the way down to the left. Saginaw played really tight in that first period and nearly got out of it unscathed. But a goal against in the last 9/10 of a second probably had things a little bit sour back in the dressing room. They played well again here in the second period. They outshoot London 23-19 in the game. 12-8 here in the period. If they can get a late equalizer here, that would be the ideal situation. Levi Harper, after the Spirit win a D-zone faceoff. Stretch pass, he's got Gervais. Couldn't handle the puck, could have been an odd man break. Gervais out of the corner. Jacob Kluche rips it up the boards. Linus Funk spins him off. Gervais comes over to help. Jared Woolley waves it along for the Knights up the near side. James Go down from the right point to close things off for Saginaw. Minute 20 seconds left at 4-on-4. The puck is stuck between Go, O'Reilly, and the boards. Woolley comes over with a heavy hit for Gervais. O'Reilly on that loose puck, and he goes out the other side. Jacob Kluche's got to force the issue. O'Reilly in front of his own net. Kluche right behind him. Drop the puck off for Linus Funk. Up through center ice. The defenseman leads the charge in here for London down to the goal line. Stopped up and watched by Levi Harper. Puck poked free. Kluche lost it in his skates. Tripped up. Puck comes up now for Barabanov. Kluche gets back to the Spirit bench. Here comes Barabanov trying to drive wide on Wasselin. Gets a shot off. Save made by Medvedev. Loose puck on Medvedev. A sprawling save. He got the glove down to Rob Barabanov. O'Reilly back behind the London net. 30 to go at 4-on-4. And Donnie Themis back behind his goal line. Forechecking Zhilkin, trying to steal the puck. They're wrapped up right now. Barabanov in the circle. Holds up. Barabanov walking towards the middle. Gets it there for James Go, and a swing and a miss on the attempted one-timer. James Go back up to the top of the zone. Inside the final 60 here in the second period. Go faked like he wanted to go out to the neutral zone. Now center point. Go still with it. Now for Levi Harper. James Go tripped up. There's now Barabanov just inside the line up high. Couple of seconds left at 4-on-4. Barabanov drops for Zhilkin. Right circle shot. That one blocked by the stick of Wilmot. We're at 5-on-5 again. 37 to go in the period. Zhilkin out of the corner. Nice stick handle to get through, but he can't get the shot away. Puck up the near boards. Levi Harper back up at the point. Brustevich is without a helmet. He's got to go to the bench. Down low. 5-on-4 for a split second here. Klepov in the circle can't get a shot through. 22 to go. The new man is out for London. Back at 5-on-5. Klepov the shot. That gets blocked by O'Reilly. Up to the far boards and out to center. Klepov is on it. Clark trying to force the issue. Cross-ice pass for Barnes. Saginaw's back in with Zhilkin. Just inside the line. 7 seconds left. Zhilkin for Carson Harmer. Trying to spin towards the net. Taken out of the play by Linus Funk. And that's it for the second. Van Gorp has the stick knocked out of his hand by Harper. And that's it for post-whistle stuff. Some more conversations, but a really well-played second period. 14 shots to 8 for Saginaw in the middle frame, 25-19 in the entire hockey game. Braden Clark and Caden Hawkins have the Knights' goals. Carson Harmer from Jacob Kluche and Brody Popoy, the only Spirit goal in this game. They trail London 2-1. An exciting third period coming your way after this break and after our second intermission report. We're back after this here on 100.5 FM WSGW.
You're looking for a better price on a better car, so dare to be different. Get to Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw, the only Hyundai dealer in the Great Lakes Bay region. See why Hyundai is so much better. Garber's certified factory-trained technicians, knowledgeable parts staff, and dedicated sales team will keep you coming back to Garber Hyundai. You really do get it all at Garber. Dare to be different. Choose better at Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, garberhyundai.com.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today, the disability experts in your community.
At Dow, we believe performance starts long before the whistle blows. It begins in the lab, where science meets sport. From apparel to playing surfaces to gear, we create cutting-edge materials that help drive high performance from lab to stadium. Because in sports, just like in science, every second counts. And every material matters. Dow, at the intersection of sport and science. Learn more at dow.com/sports.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What?
Huh? I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Kathy Taffel to create your personal price plan today.
It's time for your intermission report. In the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, here is Jonathan Dent.
Things are starting to heat up at Canada Life Place as the rivalry is still alive. A 2-1 score after 2 periods of play. London out front. Let's take a look back at that middle frame. Brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. It was 1-0 London heading into this second period, and Saginaw wasted no time setting up early chances, trying to even things up. It takes a few minutes, but it comes at 5 minutes, 52 seconds. A shaky defensive zone breakout ends up on the stick of Jacob Kluche along the right side. His shot is stopped, but Carson Harmer swoops in to score on the rebound, tying things up.
The boys got to get this out of the zone. Does to Kluche, gets it around a man. Jacob Kluche, maybe an odd man break, takes a shot, save Medvedev, rebound, they score! The loose puck pumped home by Carson Harmer. Goals in back-to-back games. The Spirit tie the game at 1.
5 minutes, 52 seconds, the Herman Hisson Company time of the goal there. They nearly follow it up with yet another shot through traffic that gets a deflection, but Medvedev is able to hold them off.
James Go in the offensive end for Levi Harper. Now to Carson Harmer up high, sends a shot to the net. Deflected save made by Medvedev as Papoy got a stick on that.
Just under 11 minutes in, Renee Van Bommel and Josh Glavin put on a show, a long scrap, and not too long after that, the Knights take advantage of that momentum, break into the Spirit end. Mikhail Zakharov sends a shot off the pads of Stepan Shurigan, and Caden Hawkins knocks home the rebound to retake the lead.
Zakharov, give and go with Hawkins. Zakharov, 3-on-2 for the Knights. Get it back in front. Pad save by Shurigan. They score on the rebound. Knights take advantage of the numbers. Shurigan shuts down Zakharov. Caden Hawkins is there for the rebound. 8:23 to go in the second.
The physical play keeps up with London giving themselves a little bit more room, but Saginaw able to keep them largely to the outside, look to set up some moves north of their own. 17 minutes, 17 seconds. Henry Rustevich and Nikita Klepov both sit for roughing. It's 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. Saginaw gets the best look in that time, maybe one of their best looks of the period that doesn't make it in. A loose puck on the blue paint. Medvedev tracks it down just in time to return things to 5-on-5.
Puck comes up now for Barabanov. Luce gets back to the Spirit bench. Here comes Barabanov trying to drive wide on Wasserlin. Gets a shot off. Save made by Medvedev. Loose puck on Medvedev. A sprawling save. He got the glove down to Rob Barabanov.
Saginaw outshot the London Knights 14-8 in the second period. They've got a 25-19 shot lead right now. Neither team a power play. All the penalties have been exchanged here, and all of them came in that second period. Scoring in the second, Carson Harmer, his 6th of the season, assisted by Kluche and Papoy. Then Caden Hawkins regains the lead for London. Mikhail Zakharov and Julian Brown, the assists on that one. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll bring Dylan into the conversation, break down that second period a little bit more for you here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
My Michigan Health is your go-to place for comprehensive brain, stroke, and spine care right here in your community. Our expert neuroscience team provides care close to home with multiple certified stroke centers throughout the region, including the only comprehensive stroke center in Saginaw. With 24/7 medical expertise, the latest diagnostic tools, and advanced treatments, we're ready when you need us most. Learn more at mymichigan.org/neuro.
Garber Ford is proud to serve Bay City with the same customer service the Great Lakes Bay region has come to expect since 1907. Our Ford team of experts you know and trust are dedicated to making your experience even better. And your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at Garber Ford. Come see us in Bay City at the intersection of Euclid, Wilder, and Better. Online at GarberFordBayCity.com.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Beerline Companies also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
After 40 minutes, the Saginaw Spirit trailing the London Knights 2-1 as we bring in from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth, Dylan Clark. Dylan, Saginaw on the board in that second period, London regaining the lead, and things heating up a little bit, kind of what we might have expected in the first when it comes to kind of the tension there in the second.
No, I agree with you. That was a good period on both sides. It was good to see Van Bommel and Glavin kind of mix things up a little bit. I don't know if anybody really gained a ton of momentum out of that, but the Knights do find the back of the net not so long afterwards, but I think we're going to see things get a lot tighter and a lot chippier. There haven't been any power plays yet in this game. There's just been the one fight and then the offsetting roughing minors between Klepov and Brustevich in that second period. No penalties in the first. And this is a London team that's got the top-ranked PK in the OHL. So we might see one power play aside in this third period, if any. I would be surprised if the whistles come out for the third. We've seen a couple of trips and hooks on both sides that could have been called, that typically would be called, that haven't been. So I wouldn't be shocked. I think it's probably safe to say that we'll see a power play aside coming up in the third period.
For Saginaw's part, after 2 periods of play, outshooting their opponents 25-19. That's not something we see often. A lot of times we see the Spirit really being a bit conservative with their shots. I think they're finding great chances here tonight. It's just a matter of they're finding more of them.
Yeah, Saginaw's been outshot 16 out of their 26 now games going into tonight. They've outshot their opponent nine times. So it is a little bit different, and especially against this Knights team that has kind of set up some shooting galleries against them in recent years. But no, this is a team that's worked real hard for its offensive chances, and they're trying to make the most of them. We talked about the pucks through traffic in the first period. I think it's more of the same in the second, with a little bit more kind of setups from in close. Like they're working the puck down low a little bit better. They're getting the centering passes and the passes into the circles for the one-time chances that way. Alexei Medvedev has played really well in goal for the London Knights, so they're doing a lot of things right offensively. The only adjustment, if they can just get, and it's obviously way easier said than done, more bodies in front of the net, more bodies to the middle of the ice. There's so much traffic there on the London side of things. You go to take a shot between the dots, you're probably going to see 5 white sweaters in front of you. But they've got to battle for that real estate right in between the dots.
Some guys that have been battling for that real estate, it seems like every time they're on the ice, and it's paying off for them. Saginaw's second line. I can't count how many times I've looked after a shot, and there's Jacob Cloutier. There's Brody Popoy right on the doorstep trying to knock home that rebound. We saw Barabanov nearly cash in there during that 4-on-4 at the end. I like seeing that from them. I think they need to do more of that, battling it out right down low there.
Yeah, 7 out of Saginaw's 25 shots on goal have come from that second line of Carson Harmer, Brody Popoy, and Jacob Cloutier. They look really good. I think this is one of the better games that we've seen Brody Popoy play. He's already picked up an assist on that one goal, and I think that we'll see a lot of them in this third period. Don't count out the Klepov unit either. I mean, you mentioned Barabanov, but Zilkin's kind of flipped in the middle. He's taken the draws. He's 4 out of 5 from the faceoff circle so far tonight. He's looked good. They need somebody out of that top 6 to break through. And, Levi Harper's had the puck on his stick a lot in this game. 22 points in 25 games. He found a couple of points against Flint on Wednesday night. I think he'd like to get back to kind of the same level of scoring that he found earlier in the year. Like, you're not going to be able to score at will like that, especially not as a 16, just turning 17-year-old defenseman in this league. But he'd like to up the production a little bit. Maybe there's a little bit of frustration, but it's coming for Levi Harper. And once he gets a little bit more of a handle on it, I mean, look out. He's going to be such a dangerous hockey player in this league.
You mentioned the face-off wins real quick. We talked about it a little bit in the first intermission. I think after one period of play, London was up 13 face-off wins to 5 on Saginaw's end. It's now 23-17. So Saginaw actually outdid the Knights there in the second period on the face-off dot. A lot of that coming off of Dima Zilkin as well. Is that going to be one of the keys here in the third, just keeping that possession right off the hop?
No, 100%. I mean, look, you spend so much time. If you don't win the faceoff, you're going to spend, I think, on average, probably 20 seconds, 25 seconds trying to get it back. So once you do, if you're taking a 45-second shift, you got maybe another 20 seconds to get the puck into the zone and generate a scoring opportunity out of it. So it doesn't mean if you lose the faceoff, it doesn't mean you've wasted the shift. But boy, have you just decreased the likelihood that you're going to find the back of the net on it. So, yeah, it's good to see the face-off numbers trending in the right direction for Saginaw. Sebastian Gervais, 6 of 11 in the dot tonight. Carson Harmer, 5 for 11. And again, Dima Zilkin, 4 for 5. So he might be the hot hand here in this third period.
We'll see how things pan out here. Heading into the third, Saginaw looking to make up a 2-1 deficit. Dylan, thank you for your time. We'll take a quick break, then a look at our out-of-town scores here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh & Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh & Associates. Retirement made clear.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back. Jonathan Dent here with your look at your out-of-town scores. They're brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. The Kitchener Rangers entered the second period down 2-1 against the visiting Niagara Ice Dogs. The Rangers scored 3 in the second. They're now out to a 4-2 lead going into the final frame of regulation. The Ottawa 67s tie the game in the second. Brock Chitteroni ties things at 1 just a couple minutes into that middle frame. The Brampton Steelheads lose their lead to the Brantford Bulldogs. It's now a 1-1 game in Brampton. Jake O'Brien, the tying goal for the Bulldogs. In Kingston, the Frontenacs trailing the visiting North Bay Battalions 1-0. Caden Petrie, the difference maker there, coming in the second. The Sioux Greyhounds hop out to a 3-2 lead. All three of those coming in the second period. Both of the Sarnia Stings goals coming in the first. That game in Sarnia, the Hounds up 3-2 there. The Wolves are also up 3-2 against the Barrie Colts. Right now, it looks like both of those Colts goals were scored in the second period, with one Sudbury goal scored as well. And the deadlock is broken in Guelph. Windsor scores the lone goal of the middle frame to take a 3-2 lead. We'll take another quick break. When we come back, Dylan has the call of the third as the Saginaw Spirit currently trail the London Knights 2-1 here on your home for Saginaw Spirit hockey.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today.
We're Duralast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Duralast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Duralast, the world's best roof.
Get it all at Garber Chevrolet Saginaw. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall experience. Our expert technicians are factory trained to the highest standards, keeping your vehicle in top condition. And we have everything for your automotive needs, even tires. Get to Garber Chevy Saginaw today and see how you get it all at Garber. Gratiot Road, Saginaw. Online, GarberChevroletSaginaw.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Third period action here from Canada Life Place. Dylan Clark alongside you and excited to get it started. 2-1, the Knights carry the lead here into this final frame. Looking to get back in the win column for consecutive games after losing a pair to start their last road trip. Saginaw looking to avoid a slide here and bounce back after a 5-4 loss in Flint on Wednesday. These two teams will meet in Saginaw in about 22 hours. So the next 20 minutes are very, very, very important. Puck into the offensive zone off the draw for Saginaw. Trailing 2-1 here in the third. Knights will get it right back. Big time hit as Josh Glavin locks Nogan Hari off the puck. This is thrown in front, taken by Saginaw's Uri Rauja out of a dangerous opportunity. Knights go D-to-D. Linus Funk will fire it back in the Spirit end. Josh Glavin, stretch pass. Sema bumped it back to Gervais. Over the line, here's Sema. Back in for Gervais. Dropped it off with pressure from Linus Funk. Jackson Cover up the far boards. Cut off by Saginaw's Sema. Now the Knights spin it down the near side. Logan Hari. Poked at by Levi Harper. Up the near boards. Brustevich takes the shot out the other side as it goes wide on the blocker side of Shurigan. Back into the Knights' end. Saginaw will use that opportunity to make a line change. Henry Brustevich leads the London counterattack. Long shooting goes high over the glass, or off the glass over the head of Stepan Shurigan. Knights still on this here. O'Reilly bouncing puck into the corner. Van Gorp knocked off of it by James Go. O'Reilly back behind the Spirit net with Barabanov there. Up to Andoni Themis. Fires it back around the horn it comes. Up the near side. Dimas Yilkin to neutral ice. Lifts it up into the air. Glove down by Andoni Themis and moved out to the neutral zone again. Levi Harper finds James Go. Pass back to Harper. Picked off by Wazelin. Unfortunately for Saginaw, Nikita Klepov was in the area. So he moves it up for Barabanov just over the line. Throws it cross ice. Looking for Yilkin. Kicked out by Van Gorp. And this will be Wazelin down the right side. Wazelin. Reverse hit on Barabanov as he throws it around. Graydon Jones is there for the Spirit. Klepov gets it out. This will be picking it up at center, Maxim Sokolovsky. Sokolovsky through center. Into the offensive end. Kicks it out wide. Wazelin off the boards. Handcuffed by Graydon Jones. Puck between his own legs. It'll go back down below the goal line. Saginaw gets out of danger, at least for the moment. Nikita Klepov sends it back over to Levi Harper. Off the near wall. Dimas Yilkin. Back for Levi Harper again in the neutral zone. Up the right side. Kluche saw the footsteps of Sokolovsky coming. Bailed out of the way. Lost the puck. This is angled back in here by Braden Clark. Back in behind Stepan Shurigan's net. Brody Papoy picks it up. Backhands it ahead. Blake Barnes. Stick handles his way into the offensive zone. Kluche. Long shot Papoy. And a stick save by Medvedev. His first of the period. Knights get it out at center. Just hatcheted into the offensive zone by Saginaw's Josh Glavin. Cook will drop it off for Clark. High up into the air. Dropping back down in the right wing corner of the Spirit end. Glavin cuts off Van Bommel. Those two had a good scrap earlier in this hockey game. Loose puck just inside the Spirit line. Carson Harmer gets out of a jam. Nice stick handling. Gets it ahead to Papoy down the right side with some room. A shot goes wide. Too far ahead of Seam on the rebound off the wall. Glavin taps it out and back into the right corner. Around it comes again. Still in the London end. 16:50 to go here in the third period. 2-1 Knights. Brody Papoy chases down Funk. Now it's Gervais on the puck in the corner. Back in front. Sharp angle try. Sema shut down by Medvedev. This is moved up the boards by Zakharov. Saginaw's Barch closes off the wall. Funk is hit by Barch. Woolley tips it back. Funk in behind the London goal. And now Woolley again. Rauja forcing the issue. Mike Zakharov up the near side. This is Hawkins down the wing, who's got the go-ahead goal here. 2-1 in the third period. Hawkins throws it to the late man, Andoni Themis. It's off his skate. Now Hayden Barch back in behind the Spirit net. Hawkins up for Brustevich. A shot that gets deflected on its way to the net. Max Crete got the stick in the lane and took about 90% of the velocity off of that thing. The rest of it dribbles in on Stepan Shurigan for a faceoff. 16:02 left in the third period. 2-1 Knights. We'll pause 10 seconds for station identification here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW. Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Defensive zone faceoff here for the Spirit in a 2-1 game. They trail. They outshoot the Knights 2-1 in the period, though. 27-20 in the game. And again, Saginaw, this would be just the 10th time all year that they outshoot their opponent. Now up the left side, here comes Levi Harper leading the charge. Nice move to get between the dots, but he's hammered there by Brustevich right before he got the shot away. Van Gorp on this puck and out to center here for the Knights. Barabanov gets hauled down by O'Reilly. Play continues. Puck taken here by Nikita Klepov. Pass up for Harper. The defenseman just chops it down and sends it back behind Medvedev. Brustevich back around, and Donnie Themis turned it over. Barabanov taken back here by Van Gorp. Backhanded along. Wazelin on it for the Knights. Back up through center ice. Van Gorp down the wing. Nice pocket pick there by James Go. Now for Barabanov. Has some room into the offensive end. Drop pass for Go. The shot, and a good save made by Medvedev. And Brustevich gets a glove up into the face of James Go after the fact. 15-17 to go here in this third period. Fresh bodies, good work. Barabanov saw some room there. The Knights had given a little bit more of a gap than they typically would have, and you give them the room, they're going to take it. Barabanov in with speed, and a good shot by James Go. 2 assists the other night against the Windsor Spitfires. Found his first goal of the season the night before. Shot from the point. Kicked wide by Medvedev. A long shot by Barnes. Now the rebound. Papoy back behind the net. Up for Jones at the left point. Another shot tipped just wide off the stick of Hari. Jackson Culver can't get it out for London. Chased down by Barnes. Papoy again in the corner. Gets hit. Big time collision there by Sokolovsky. That'll send the Knights up the right side. Culver can't get through Graydon Jones. And the back pressure from Carson Harmer. Gets the puck up the other direction. There's a Spirit player hurt behind the play. It is Papoy. He is just barely getting back to the Saginaw bench. Uri Rouses on this from the bench now. And a long shot right into the glove of Stepan Shurigan. And that is a tough sight for the Spirit. And a little bit more as Wilmot and Kluche are wrapped up now. Brody Papoy could barely put any weight on that right skate. And that's unfortunate as he's been one of Saginaw's best skaters here in this hockey game. He got wrapped up with Maxim Sokolovsky, 6'8", 238 pounds out of Kazakhstan. And somebody that size ends up on top of you. He goes into the boards quite awkwardly. And yeah, he's getting some attention on the bench from Saginaw's athletic therapist, Andrew Plate. We'll see just how much of Papoy the Spirit will see tonight. 14:40 left in the third period. So who hops up on that second line with Kluche and Harmer? Saginaw down to 10 forwards now as they dressed 11 and 7. Braden Clark to take this in the offensive zone here. The face-off for the Knights with Brody Cook, and he wins it right back to him. Takes a shot that goes off a glove, and Nick Seema's on it. Up the left side, Seema off the wall, gets it back. Tries to put it in front. Woolley cut that pass off. Good stick lift by Seema. Rips it up to the left point. Josh Glavin swung it over. Here's Hayden Barch. Back below the goal line for Gervais. Clark's on him. Rauscha tries to get after this puck. Uri Rauscha holds off Cook. Gervais follows on. Up the near side boards with 14 minutes left in the third period. Saginaw trailing London 2-1. Linus Funk along the far boards in the London zone. Woolley is there too. Nick Seema. And the puck does not go very far as it's pinned up against the wall. Clock continues to move. The puck does not. Seema trying to jam after it. Nobody can move it. Nobody's trying to move it. Woolley can't bring it free. Still it's going. The puck has not moved, and finally we'll blow the whistle. 13:44 to go here in the third period. 2-1. London has the lead. A face-off coming up. We'll see what we can see as far as Brody Papoy goes. We'll take a break. Back after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
Hi, this is Dima Jolkin, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Back inside Canada Life Place. 13:44 left in regulation. And some promising news during that media timeout. Spirit forward Brody Papoy was out. He was buzzing around a little bit, testing out that right wheel. The skate and the foot seem to be okay. He's on the bench right now to start, but that's because the Zhilkin, Klepov, and Barabanov line is out for Chris Lazary. We'll see just how affected Papoy's foot speed are here in this third period. Saginaw trailing 2-1. They've outshot the Knights 4-2 here in the third period. They got an offensive zone faceoff. Zhilkin against O'Reilly. One back. Klepov there for Barabanov. Lost it. Now Woolley sees Levi Harper come after him. O'Reilly back in behind the London goal. Outlet pass. The big-time collision. Oh, James Go steps up and runs right through Van Gorp. He's going to get some retribution, but Barabanov's in down the left side. There for Klepov into the circle. O'Reilly gets after Klepov again. Out of the near corner. Gets it up to the point. Now it gets through Harper. Wazelin Gets it there for Van Gorp down the left side. Odd man break is on. Here comes O'Reilly into the circle. A rising backhanded shot. Hits the glass after it goes wide. Barabanov up the left side. Tries to shift that one in on Linus Funk. He gets closed off. Funk's got the puck. And he moves it back out to the neutral zone. O'Reilly speed down the far boards. Against Jones. Cuts up. Takes a shot. And a body save made by Shurigan. Oh, biggest hit of the hockey game. James Go steps right up and rolls on through Evan Van Gorp on the far boards in front of the London bench. And a little bit more after the fact. 12:55 left here in this third period. Defensive zone faceoff upcoming here as Carson Harmer will take it against Mike Zakharov. Brody Popoy is out on the ice for the Saginaw Spirit. And now Harmer's going to get waved out of this D-zone faceoff, so Kluche will have to take it. .12:55 here in regulation. A couple of good scoring chances on either side. Spirit clear. Goes off a night body, or maybe not, because they'll rule it an icing. 12:48 left. We'll bring it all back and do the whole thing over again. 7:05 tomorrow from the Dow Event Center. These two teams go toe-to-toe. Saginaw makes its second and final trip to Canada Life Place on December the 12th, and then back at Saginaw on February the 7th. That's the season series between these two hockey teams. The Knights took last year's 3-1 as they've got this puck in the offensive end after the faceoff. 2-1 Knights here midway through the third period. A centering pass could not be tapped home by Caden Hawkins. Spirit get it out the center, pushed back in by Brown. Shurigan wanders out of his net to play it. Swept across. Barch up for Kluche. Knights keep it alive. Harmer tries to force the issue. Hawkins picks it up down the right side. Pass back to Sokolovsky. Back in behind the Spirit net. Crete cut off by the Spirit defenseman Josh Glavin. Max Crete, cross ice, off the tape there of Sokolovsky. Back to Crete in the London end. Approaching the 12-minute mark. Into the offensive zone. Sokolovsky, nice move to get through Jones. Shurigan out of his net to play it. A little reverse hit. Glavin and Hawkins come together, and Carson Harmer gets it out to Jacob Kluche. Trying to go back to Harmer. Zakharov will take that away. And this will be Andoni Themis out of the London zone. Spirit force a turnover. Jones for Glavin now. Flipped it up into the air. Gervais lets Wilmot grab it. Tries to check him. Brustevich now flips it back down where it's gloved by Glavin and thrown into the London end. Glavin's got to get a change. Whoa, that bounced back off the ledge and behind Medvedev and nearly off the back of the goaltender. Here come the Knights back the other direction. Wilmot down the left side. Sharp angle try. Easy glove save for Stepan Shurigan. 11:27 here in regulation. Still nothing more after. Typically we would see a couple of more dust ups by this point in the game. And a season for the London Knights where they're looking to, I don't know how you build on a Memorial Cup championship. 14-7-3-0. They actually lost their first 4 hockey games this year. Will go on to win 5 straight after that. A little bit of a mixed bag as of late, but 6 out of the last 10 have been victories. Saginaw gets this one back out to center. Spirit have 11 minutes and 18 seconds to try and tie up this hockey game as Nick Sema throws a check on Hari. Levi Harper up the boards for Uri Rouser. The Knights take it back. Jackson Cover down the left side. Watched by James Go. Drops it back into the circle. Good defensive stick by Nick Sema. And Donnie Themis. Point shot blocked by a Spirit player. This one comes off the boards. Jackson Cover. Hit by James Go again. Makes the pass. A bouncer at the top of the zone. Can't be held in by Themis. So he's out to neutralize. Back up to Jackson Cover. Over the line again. Wilmot tries to thread the needle. Shurigan's out to play it. Near side, James Go, glassing out. Linus Funk. D-to-D, Woolley. Returns it. Hari just chips it back in. Gervais takes a look over his shoulder. Uses the boards in behind. Stepan Shurigan to make the pass. Levi Harper tried to spring Dima Zhilkin, but that pass was read by Linus Funk. Knights get it back to neutral ice again. Logan Hari. Spins it there for Van Gorp. Moved off the puck by James Go. Wilmot tries to throw it on through as he's closed off by Zhilkin. Graydon Jones rims it back around. James Go There for Igor Barabanov. Wilmot lost his stick as he tried to check Barabanov. 3-on-2 for the Spirit. Zhilkin turns around, hits the late man, takes a shot, and a stick save made by Medvedev. Woolley off the glass. Bouncer out to center. Barnes swats it away from the Spirit line. Back into London Real Estate. Backhanded up. Taken out by Graydon Jones. Stops at the offensive blue line. Gets it to Klepov there for Barabanov. The shot blocked by Woolley. Now for Barnes. Another shot tipped by Klepov and a save made by Medvedev. 9:44 left in the third period. Again, more traffic, more deflections in front of the London netminder, but Medvedev has stood tall here. 22 wins last year, playing second fiddle to Austin Elliott, who had one of the best seasons between the pipes by a Knights netminder. 3 shutouts for Medvedev that year. And again, that was his NHL draft year, in a bit of a lesser role, but the numbers are there. The physical tools are apparent. Again, 6'3" for the young Medvedev. He stopped 30 here in this game. Offensive zone faceoff. Spirit win it. Back to Barnes. A shot that gets tipped wide. Popoy in front, trying to lock up with Andoni Femas, who clears the zone. This one goes off the stick of Van Bommel. Cross-corner dump in here for the Knights. Shurigan out of his net. Rolls it up the wall. Carson Harmer gets to it. Goes off the glass and out again. Van Bommel can't get it through Jacob Kluche. The Knights are offside as that was backhanded into Cook by Van Bommel. So in the neutral zone, we drop this puck again. Still no power plays or penalty kills for either one of these hockey teams. We've not seen a penalty called here in the third period. Fighting majors to Glavin and Van Bommel, offsetting roughing penalties to Klepov and Brustevich. That's it on the penalty sheet here. Josh Glavin back behind his net. Around the far side, poked out by Hayden Barch. Carson Harmer pulls it out. Moved it to Glavin. This is rimmed around as Brody Popoy knocks it off the boards and Brustevich. Cook on it from center. Van Bommel gave it away. At neutralizing into the offensive zone. Popoy tried to cut back. The puck rolled off his stick. Spear trying to keep this puck in the offensive end. Cook is on things here for the Knights. They go out the other direction. Bart steps up and reads that in the neutral zone, and now it's back on for Harmer. Takes a big check, but Popoy is into the circle. Turns around, throws it in front. Broken play right on the doorstep. Kluche couldn't get untangled from Femas. Now it's Levi Harper. Just inside the line with 8.5 to go. Point shot. They score! It's Brody Popoy. The deflection on the doorstep. He ties the game at 2. Have yourself a game. Brody Popoy, his first multi-point effort. His second goal of his Ontario Hockey League career. 8:31 to go in the third. Popoy battles through an injury and tips the puck home. 8:31 left in the period. It's a brand new hockey game. And we spoke during the intermissions about Saginaw's offense being generated from the blue line. They've gotten the deflections, and they finally get the one that solves Alexei Medvedev for the first time in about 25 minutes. Puck thrown in on Stepan Shurigan, who covers. 8:23 left here. It was not very long ago that we were wondering if Popoy would be able to continue in this hockey game. Levi Harper is going to pick up the assist, his 23rd point of the year. We'll see who picks up the secondary helper. 2-2 here. Inside 8.5 to go. Defensive zone faceoff for Saginaw with Sebastian Gervais to take it. And a little bit of an extra moment until that is allowed. Off the draw, the Spirit win it. Levi Harper for Uri Rouge, the backhanded pass, picked up and fired back in behind the London goal. It'll come back out. Good active stick there by the netminder Medvedev. Keep it out of danger. Uri Rouge tries to pull it off the wall. He's tangled up right now. Rouge can't move that puck. Nick Sema takes the check there by Sokolovsky. Comes out with it. Again, 6'8", up through center. He moves this puck. Just shut down by Saginaw's James Go. Rouge has to get back to the line. Sema can't touch it. It would have been offside. But on this puck now, Sokolovsky. Back for Caden Hawkins. Knights get a line change. So do the Spirit. Sema and Rouge to the bench. Klepov. Zhilkin hop the boards. Linus Funk. Drop back here. This is Hawkins. Fired back around. Max Crete. Back in behind the Spirit net. It comes back up to the left wing circle. Max Crete turns it there for Woolley. Thrown to the net out the other side. Right through the goal mouth. Linus Funk keeps it alive. Another shot knocked down on its way through. Hawkins after it with Harper. O'Reilly in the offensive corner for the Knights. Levi Harper cut off by Max Crete. James Go off the boards. Can Jilkin chase this puck down? No. The Knights just fire it back into the near corner. James Go. D to D. Harper with 7 minutes left in regulation. Tie game here from London. Jared Woolley picks it up, and Klepov back behind the net. Read that perfectly. He steals. Klepov into the offensive corner now. Back up to the top of the zone. Tied up with Josh Glavin. Moves the puck to Bart's shot, and a long stick save is made by Medvedev. Rebound. Glavin knocked to the net there. Looking for a deflection was Jilkin. And the Knights flip it back out to center. Glavin tried to backhand it away from Van Gorp. O'Reilly just shovels this back in behind the Spirit net. Step on Shurigan there to move the puck. Glavin stretch pass intercepted by Brustevich. He's got a lane here. Brustevich cut off there by Jilkin. Doesn't get a clean shot off. And Shurigan makes the save. 6:29 to go here in this period. Jacob Kluche has been credited with the other assist on the Brody Popoy goal. His second helper of the game, a multi-point night for Popoy. And for Chris Lasry, that has been the line that has given him the most here in this hockey game. So they're back out right now for this defensive zone faceoff. A couple of Pittsburgh Penguins elite alums right there in Kluche and Brody Popoy. Themis a long shot off the faceoff, shrugged aside by Shurigan. The rebound chance there. On a chance to hit the glass by Hari. Brustevich at center. Wilmot hit by Saginaw's Carson Harmon. Brustevich, a bouncer in the neutral zone. Blake Barnes gets it away nicely there from Jackson Culver. Jacob Kluche can't spin that puck to the middle. Logan Hari pulls it out. There's a pileup of bodies in front of the bench. This is picked up. Here's Culver down the left side. Takes a shot and a good save by Shurigan. The rebound high into the air. It comes down below the goal line. Now Wilmot out of the corner. Hari. Give it right to Brody Popoy. Had to make a decision with that puck. It's moved around the wall. Themis keeps it in. Here's Hari again. Inside 6 to go. Here in the third period, 2-2. Themis, right point shot, warned by Carson Harmon. He gets it out to center. Jackson Culver at center. Left wing now. Wilmot over the line. Back in front. Here's Culver. Handcuffed on his way. And a good poke check there by Shurigan as Harmer tied up Culver. Team effort. Spirit clear it. That puck was rolling. Icing's been waved off here. Saginaw gets a line change. Sema gets a hit from Wilmot on his way onto the ice. Sokolovsky into the offensive zone for the Knights. They rim it around. Sebastian Gervais back for James Go. Levi Harper for Go. And up the near side, Sema spins around, just knocks that puck down. Can't carry it into the zone with possession, so Sokolovsky is back in behind the London net. Up for Cook. Cross-ice pass to the neutral zone. Stepped up on by James Go. So Clark has to come back into the London zone. Spiked it off the wall. Kicked down by Cook here. One hands it ahead. Saginaw's Go shuts that down at the Spirit line. Nick Sema tripped up by Clark. Pulls it off the wall. Cook through Rauja. Now Van Bommel. A long shot high into the glass behind Shurigan. And Harper is taking something up high from Van Bommel. Play going to continue. Back out at center. This one fired in and off the glove of Shurigan. He paused that down for Levi Harper. Van Bommel winds up. He looks like he wants to take Harper's head off. Levi Harper is going to sprint his way into the offensive zone. Wide on Woolley. Harper trying to dance end-to-end here. Back behind the net. Stops the brakes. Back behind. Looking for Gervais. Woolley closes off Levi Harper. Puck bounces into the air with 4:10 to go in regulation. 2 against 2 in the near corner. Nick Sema. Off the boards there with Sam O'Reilly. Sebastian Gervais comes over to help out. Another dead puck along the boards. Gervais gets it out for Jilkin, was looking to spin it up high. Wasilin takes over here for the Knights, and he fires that back in. Shurigan there to knock it down behind the net. Spins out of danger and gave that away to Wasilin, but out the other side it comes. Linus Funk with 3:40 to go in regulation. Back and behind the goal and out the other side. Woolley below the goal line. This is O'Reilly. Thrown in front. Broken play into some skates. Glavin just gets it out to center. Linus Funk on things here for the Knights. Thrown back in from the red line. Back around it comes. Klepov gets it up to Dima Jilkin. Into the offensive end and twisted back in behind the London goal. Klepov gets to it first. Pass off the backside of the goal. Does not find Barabanov. Knights are on this. They get it back out to neutral zone. James Go Graydon Jones now up for Barabanov. Into the offensive zone. Backhanded pass bounces down for Sokolovsky. They'll clear this down at center. Pawed down by Barch. Broken play. Here comes Barabanov into the circle. The shot. Good stick save by Medvedev. Now it's Popoy again. Out of the offensive corner. 2:50 left in regulation. Jones for Barch. Cross-ice pass. Tip there on the chance in front from Klepov. Medvedev makes the save. Klepov again. Right in the slot. A shot that goes wide. Maybe getting a piece was Medvedev. Just inside the line again. Klepov throws it below the goal line. Brody Popoy lumbers after this puck. He's stolen it again. Everybody else going for a line change, though. Popoy is just forcing the Knights to spend more gas in the D zone. Sam O'Reilly flips that in. Now it's James Go to glove it down and move for Graydon Jones. Pass up through center. Knocked down by the skate of Harmer. Into the offensive end. A long shot right into the glove of Alexei Medvedev, who holds for a faceoff. 2:14 left in regulation. The game tied at 2. Harmer and Popoy, Hawkins and Clark. We're back to close out regulation after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
2:14 left in regulation here from Canada Life Place. First of a 4-game season series between the Spirit and the Knights. Saginaw outshooting the Knights 36-26 right now, 11-7 in the third period. And Brody Popoy was having the best game of his now 25-game OHL career so far. A goal and an assist. He's got the equalizer on a point shot from Levi Harper. Again, Jacob Kluche's got a couple of assists in this game. We asked Chris Lazard in Coach's Corner how he thought Kluche would respond after a difficult moment in Flint on Wednesday. Not to hang that game on him, but when something like that happens, you take the penalty that leads to the game-winning power play goal. The eyes turn to you, and Kluche's responded with a fantastic game tonight. He's out here on this offensive zone faceoff. Nobody can find it. Finally, it's pulled out by Logan Hawry. And the Knights come back up to center ice. Backhanded in. Stepan Shurigan drops it off behind the net for Levi Harper. Up for Jacob Kluche. Pocket picked by Jackson Culver. Wilmot. Near side looking for Hawry. Put back in behind the net. Centering feed. Shut down. This is Hawry again in the right circle. Rustevich at the right point. Takes a shot. Tipped in front just wide there by Wilmot. Jackson Culver at the point. And Donnie Femus the shot. That's knocked down. Wilmot's on it. Saginaw's got to get out of danger here. The puck reeled in by Jacob Kluche. He's up ice with Brody Popoy. Kluche into the offensive end. 3-on-2. Dropped off Harper. Near side Popoy. The puck rolled over his stick. Off the boards. He puts it down low. Levi Harper out of the corner. 1:30 to go in regulation. Popoy right between the dots. Takes a shot. That one blocked by Brustevich. Popoy again off the far boards. Nice move to shake on through. Kluche in front for Harmer. The backhand shot. He scores. Carson Harmer picks up the loose puck in front. 1:15 to go in regulation. The Spirit lead. And you will never guess who else will pick up the assists. Jacob Kluche and Brody Popoy. Just great work. The shot gets blocked from Popoy. Carson Harmer's got his second goal of the game. 7th on the season as he continues to heat up. Just relentless work in the offensive zone. The Spirit get a couple of big saves and blocks down at the other end. 1:15 left in regulation. These will be the most tense moments of the night so far. Harmer gives Saginaw a 3-2 lead. Hayden Bartz back into the Spirit end. Medvedev to the bench. Saginaw clears. Bouncing puck picked up by Wilmot. 6 attackers for the London Knights. Final 60 seconds here of the third period. Wilmot in with speed. Pocket picked by Barabanov. O'Reilly inside the line of Brustevich. Point shot. That fought off by Shurigan. O'Reilly again up the near side. Brustevich. O'Reilly. Brustevich. Point shot. Tip wide. Stick saved by Shurigan. And it goes into the netting. 41.5 left in this third period. We get another look at the go-ahead goal from Carson Harmer. Good work by Popoy. A nice move. Loose puck deep between the legs of Brustevich. Then it's Kluche behind the net. And Harmer, the left shot, standing on the near goal post, just able to reel it in, turn it to the backhand, and all of a sudden that's a 6-foot change in where the hockey puck is left to right. Backhands it past the glove of Medvedev. But now Saginaw's got to defend for 41 and a half more seconds. Knights have it in the offensive zone off the faceoff. Extra attacker here. They've given it right to Carson Harmer. Throws it up for Sebastian Gervais with a look at the empty net. Gervais, he scores! A rolling puck. Oh, and Woolley comes right after Sebastian Gervais after the fact. I don't know, was there contact with Waslin on the follow-through? Woolley made a beeline for Sebastian Gervais after he puts the puck in the net. It's going to be a 4-2 lead here for Saginaw. Somebody's without a helmet. Woolley's going to come right back at Josh Glavin. Now the decision is, hey, the game's over. Do whatever you can. Do whatever you want. O'Reilly is locked up right now, I think, with Carson Harmer. And O'Reilly's continuing as he puts Harmer down. And Josh Glavin's having to be tossed out. He's been thrown off the playing surface. As Wilmot wrestling back on the other side with whichever Spirit player. It's Gervais that's locked up with O'Reilly right now. I think Harmer is underneath Wilmot, and they're just letting him unload with punches to the side of Harmer's head. 29.2 to go. This is, well, I guess we saved it all for the last 30 seconds, didn't we? Brustevich off the ice. Wilmot and Harmer continuing to go. Hayden Barch is trying to get whatever he can out of Van Gorp. Barch off the playing surface. And still, to this point, I can't tell you what Sebastian Gervais did to bring all this around. He might have tagged Wazelin with the stick on the follow-through. He backhands the puck into the empty net. You can kind of see, we're going to get a look on the puck at center, on the big board at center. 29.2 to go. Woolley made a beeline right over for Sebastian Gervais. So they've not yet put the 4-2 goal up on the board yet for the Spirit. Wazelin, O'Reilly, Wilmot, Van Gorp, all down the tunnel they go. Jackson Cover's going to follow. I didn't think Jackson Cover was on the ice. Did Gervais maybe say something to Wazelin on his way across? Seema's, I think, going to be tossed from this game as well. Gervais, see ya. The jawing keeps on going as Harmer's going to yap back at the London bench. It is a 4-2 game for the Saginaw Spirit here, though the scoreboard does not yet reflect that. Harmer, give him a 3.9. He's going to get the assist on the empty net goal. Sebastian Gervais is 7th of the year. What a November Sebastian Gervais is having. And again, it gets to a point where there's just punches being thrown at a defenseless Carson Harmer. Wilmot's got Harmer kind of in the rear naked choke a little bit, and it's just left to the side of the head. Nobody seems too keen on doing anything about it. So we're still waiting for the empty net goal to be put up on the board. 29.2 left here in regulation. The Canada Life Place seats are emptying out a little bit here, as the yard sale of sticks will be collected in that far corner. Alexei Medvedev played a fantastic game as he is skating around to try to stretch out and keep warm here for the final few seconds. I don't believe that the goal was offside, but they're still taking a look now with the iPads here with 29.2 left. Now, if there are major penalties to be handed out here at the end of this game, that is something they could potentially take a look at. But again, is it for offside or is it for whatever the major penalties are? There are some confused looks up here in the press box at Canada Life Place. 29.2 left in this third period as we await the confirmation of Sebastian Gervais' empty net goal. Jacob Puche and Brody Popoy have had quite the night here for the Spirit. The London bench is quite thin right now. Only 10 skaters remain on the playing surface here at Canada Life Place for London. So again, if you were unaware, these two teams will meet tomorrow night. Now, how many of the players will be around for it is to be determined. That was the kind of game-ending scrum that you might see a little supplemental discipline. Saginaw's going to come out of this with a power play. And they're going to drop the puck in the neutral zone. So, is it offside? No, now they've moved back to center ice. And things were so crystal clear for so long. There's no goal been put up on the board. I'll be honest, I'm about 95% sure it's 4-2. And it is. Wooley's taking the penalty. Saginaw leads 4-2 on the empty net goal from Sebastian Gervais. They'll have a very short IBEW local 5-5-7 power play. As Sokolovsky is back in behind the London goal to pick this one up. Puck up the wall. I'm sure both sides have been given very strict instructions. No funny business here. 7 seconds left. Up the far side wall. Zakharov throws it at center. Blake Barnes intercepts. And Saginaw's going to hold on here. A 4-2 victory from Canada Life Place. Carson Harmer, the late go-ahead goal. Sebastian Gervais, the empty netter to seal the deal. And how about 24 saves from Stepan Shurigan? His 8th win of the season. Saginaw back in the win column, their 9th of the year. And they have set the stage for an exciting rematch tomorrow night at the Dow Event Center. 4-2 Spirit. We'll take a break. Post-game coverage. We'll sort out that last rash of penalties and get you ready for tomorrow. Back after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant-making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Beerline Companies also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey is WSGW.
Saginaw's back in the win column, taking the first game of the season series against the London Knights. Let's take a look back at that final frame, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. It was a 2-1 lead for London heading into this third period. Saginaw held on to possession early on, had a hard time breaking into the offensive end for the first few minutes. Eventually, they sent some pucks moving toward Medvedev. Some more physical play. James Goat lays a huge hit early on, and soon after, the Knights get an odd man break Saginaw's way. Shurigan makes a timely save to settle things down a little bit.
He gets closed off. Funk's got the puck. He moves it back out to the neutral zone. O'Reilly speed down the far boards against Jones. Cuts up, takes a shot, and a body save made by Shurigan.
Saginaw weathers a London push, gets things going the other way, a few chances off the rush, and when they finally get things set up a little bit, Brody Popoy plants himself right in front of the Knights' net, gets a touch on the shot from Levi Harper from the blue line to tie things up at 2.
Kluche couldn't get untangled from Femus. Now it's Levi Harper. Just inside the line with 8.5 to go. Point shot. They score! It's Brody Papoy, the deflection on the doorstep. He ties the game at 2.
Jacob Cloutier gets the secondary assist on that one. Your Herman Hissen Company time of the goal, 11 minutes, 29 seconds. The Knights nearly get it back soon after, but Shurigan punches it out to maintain that tie. Back and forth it goes. Some tight defense either end, not really giving up too much in the way of chances. The Spirit find their footing for a few good shifts in the London end, and Brody Papoy takes a shot. Jacob Cloutier digs out the rebound from behind the net to Carson Harmer right in front, and Harmer goes top shelf to take the Spirit's first lead of the game.
Papoy again off the far boards. Nice move to shake on through. Cloutier in front for Harmer. The backhand shot. He scores. Carson Harmer picks up the loose puck in front. 1:15 to go in regulation. The Spirit lead.
18 minutes, 45 seconds, the Herman Hissen Company time of the goal on that one. Not too long after, London pulls their netminder for some 6-on-5. Stepan Shurigan makes one. Then another big stop to hold on to that lead. It's our My Michigan Health save of the game from Stepan Shurigan.
Inside the line of Brustevich. Point shot. That fought off by Shurigan. O'Reilly again up the near side. Brustevich. O'Reilly. Brustevich. Point shot. Tip wide. Stick save by Shurigan.
Some timely stops by the Spirit netminder, who makes 24 saves on the night. With the net empty, Sebastian Gervais nabs a lead feed from Carson Harmer and scores, leading to a brawl and a 4-2 Spirit lead.
Knights have it in the offensive zone off the faceoff. Extra attacker here. They're giving it right to Carson Harmer. Throws it up for Sebastian Gervais with a look at the empty net. Gervais, he scores! A rolling puck. Oh, and Woolley comes right after Sebastian Gervais after the fact.
4-2 the score. A Spirit power play closes this one out. Jared Woolley for roughing, the only one that's been posted so far. Might have a few more details ironed out after tonight's contest. Shots on goal in the third. Once again favored Saginaw 13-7. They outshoot the Knights 38-26. Neither team gets a power play until the dying seconds. Saginaw doesn't capitalize on it, but it was kind of abbreviated. Scoring in the third, all Spirit. Brody Papoy, his second of the season, assisted by Levi Harper. And they've given the goal that should be Carson Harmer's. They've credited it to Xander Valeris. It's Carson Harmer, assisted by Jacob Cloutier and Brody Papoy. And then Sebastian Gervais on the empty net, assisted by Harmer. One last look around the Ontario Hockey League. Most of these have gone final here tonight. The Kitchener Rangers hold on to that lead they secured in the second. 6-3 victory over the visiting Niagara Ice Dogs. The Ottawa 67s break the deadlock in the third period with only 36 seconds remaining to take a 2-1 win on home ice. The Brampton Steelheads, similarly, with only 14 seconds remaining in the third period. Gabriel Sherratt scores for the Trout to give the Steelheads that 2-1 win over the visiting Brantford Bulldogs. The North Bay Battalion spring ahead to a 4-1 lead win over the Kingston Frontenacs. And the Sioux Greyhounds run away with this one 6-2 over the hometown Sarnia Sting. The Sudbury Wolves currently up 5-2 over the visiting Barrie Colts. Only a couple minutes left in that game in Sudbury. And in Guelph, the Storm come away with a win just a couple minutes before the Horn, scoring the fifth goal of the night for them. 5-4 win over the Windsor Spitfires. That's all we've got for you here in the studio. We'll send you back to Dylan for our Applebee's 3 stars of the game.
Thanks, Jonathan. Boy, what a night here from Canada Life Place. 4-2 win for the Spirit. A little bit of excitement. We saved it all for the end, didn't we? The only penalty that comes out of that, Jonathan, you were right. Jared Woolley picks up the 2-minute minor for roughing, and then everybody else just gets a 10. So that's all the information we have for you. I think that's probably where it'll end up. I don't know if there's going to be anything more after the fact. From our lookings at the replay, it looked like as Brady Wasselin was sliding over to try and cut off the empty netter from Sebastian Gervais, Gervais looked like he was about to stumble on him. There was a tap on the helmet. It looked more like a, hey, I don't want to fall on you tap, but it was interpreted as maybe a sarcastic helmet tap. I don't know. We'll never know the truth, but that's what started all that. Our 3 stars of the game brought to you by Applebee's. Brody Papoy, on the Spirit side of things, had by far his top game in a Spirit uniform. He does pick up a goal and 2 assists. Carson Harmer, well, he's not your second star. Alexei Medvedev is. Another really standout performance from the second rounder to the Vancouver Canucks. Medvedev stops 34 out of 37. Saginaw could have run away with this game in the third period had it not been for Medvedev. And Carson Harmer, he is your first star of the hockey game. Again, that goal was falsely attributed to Xander Valeris. Harmer has a pair of goals and an assist on the empty netter. He is your first star of the game. And what a game from that line. Harmer, Kluche, and Brody Papoy. We'll give Jacob Kluche an honorary star as well with a couple assists in the hockey game. Your Applied Innovation look ahead. Tomorrow night, Saginaw and London. You might want to grab tickets for that one. 7:05 at the Dow Event Center, another 989 Connect Night honoring local municipality workers. We'll start pregame here on 100.5 FM WSGW at 6:50. You can tune in on Flow Hockey as well. And then the road trip returns Friday, December the 5th at Guelph, Saturday the 6th at Brampton. That'll be a 4 o'clock start on Saturday. And then back to London on Friday, December the 12th, right here at Canada Life Place. Final score of the game, Saginaw 4, the London Knights 2. They take the opener on this season series and set the stage for an exciting Saturday night in Saginaw. For Jonathan Dent, thanks to him and all the work that he did on our pregame and intermission shows tonight, my name's Dylan Clark. Thanks to all of you who tuned in here tonight for a fun one from Canada Life Place. Good night, Saginaw. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
You've been listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raven, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. All season long, the Spirit play on WSGW 100.5 FM and online WSGW.com. We now return to regular programming on WSGW.